Good afternoon, everyone. So good to see you all. I hope you're all doing very, very well today and having a wonderful weekend. Uh, Not a 4 day weekend this time. Sorry, guys. But hopefully you've enjoyed yourselves. And as far as YouTube goes, it has been pretty eventful, I would say, to say the least. Um, now, um, the channel that I'm going to review apparently Steve Fisher from SF Investigates, after he did my stream, he jumped on another panel, and Cuck Church was on that panel, which I'm going to review, but I'm hearing things, and I'm hearing things that there was a. Now I'm going to show this too. At least I'm going to show the where Kylie's mother had reached out to social media and whatnot, and but I'm hearing something. I didn't hear it for myself because this stream was 8 hours long. Okay, 8 hours. Who streams for 8 hours, dude? Uh, I can't. I can't even imagine having that kind of time to stream. I really I don't. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine having that kind of patience. Uh so but yeah, MGL does that too. Yeah, good point. Yes, she does. Good point. Uh so um yes, drama channels do that. So the thing is the reason why I'm getting to that is I don't have a timestamp for it. I heard that. Now I don't know this to be fact. That's why I'm asking if anybody else has a timestamp for this. I'd love to play it. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume it's not true because I'm not about to just throw accusations at people. But supposedly, uh, this channel had somehow criticized her mom for speaking out. Um, so and I heard one thing, but I didn't really, you know what I mean? But yeah, when when there's that many people on a panel, man, you're just asking for chaos. You know what I mean? Like you're looking for drama. You're looking for drama. You're looking for an argument. You're just there's no structure to that. So I just can't. Wow. Woo. Uh, I got I got some of Ickadmel's mods in here. One of them is wrenched, and they're I can see why they're Ickadmel's mods. They're quick. So you said 6 hours and 5 minutes. So I'll keep that in mind when I go over it. And 6 hours and Jesus Christ, and it went on for another 2 hours, dude. What? Uh, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip real quick because I think it's important to share.
So grateful. We are so grateful to have the opportunity to join together today with our friends, family, and community in Kylie's name. Though we gather together, grief and healing is such a personal and individual thing. Today we will honor Kylie in honoring each other and holding each other up as we grieve in our own ways. We'll laugh, dance, share stories, songs, and poetry, or maybe we'll cry in a corner or at the podium. It's all okay. We'll remember and we'll create new memories as we all learn how to move forward in a world where we miss her. We are so blessed to be able to miss her together and to walk together into tomorrow. The way that she has brought everyone together, even in death, is a legacy that I will cherish forever. I'm hearing stories about people wanting to be nicer to each other in her memory. Kylie's dear friend recently told her mom that before all of this happened, she thought the word community had no real meaning, that it didn't really exist. But after Kylie went missing, the way our community showed up in full force showed her that it in fact is so very real and so, so powerful. That kind of impact on our teens gives me hope, the demonstration of strength and togetherness, and the way that they have an army of supporters standing behind them will carry them far as they enter adulthood. We would like to thank everyone who has come together to support us in what we hope will be the most difficult time of our lives. There's no way that we'll be able to ever return the kindness, generosity, and compassion that has been extended to us over the last month, but we will live the rest of our lives trying, and in that trying, Kylie will be with us, reminding us to be kind, laugh, and sing, and that sometimes it's even okay to cry. In closing, I want to thank our media friends for respecting our request to give us privacy while we celebrate my daughter today. Unfortunately, the social media frenzy has become such a monster that our teens are suffering, and we want to create a safe space for them to heal together without fear of something being taken out of context. To anyone who gains pleasure or satisfaction from commenting online, I ask you to take a moment to look inward and to try to recognize your motive. Remember the 3 gates that all words should flow through.
This is interesting.
Is it kind? Is it true? Is it helpful? I implore you to remember that there is honor in silence will flow through. Is it kind? Is it true? Is it helpful? I implore you to remember that there is honor in silence and there is kindness in minding your own business. You are talking about the death of my child, our community's child. It's time to let our children mourn their friend quietly, peacefully. I hope you can find other, more beautiful and helpful ways to spend your time and remember Kylie. Call your mom, take a walk, pick up a new hobby. Please know we got this. Let her rest.
On the connected TV side, it was kind of the first.
Very, very eloquently spoken. Excuse me. Very much so. Diggs, when was that again? Sorry. Okay, I got it. 2 hours, 38 minutes. Give me 1 second. Before I get into that, let me do something else here. Sorry, give me 1 second here. I got it.
Dick Mail, what up, bitch? Oh, Ronnie Jones, what up, bigger bitch? And what up, Xaname, even bigger bitch? Did you goofy motherfuckers think that you were just gonna bombard me with stuff and make me quit and give up or something? Do you realize you're fucking dealing with the most patient fucking asshole, fucking annoying son of a bitch on YouTube? Hi. What do you think? Because you flick your wrist like this and go, man, he's crazy. Think it's going to make me quit? No, it's going to make me even look at you more and annoy you more and want to do more shit to you. Hayek, Mel Hayek, Mel Hayek, Mel Hayek, Mel Hayek, Mel. Ronnie Jones, Ronnie
Wow.
Jones, Ronnie Jones, Ronnie Jones, Ronnie Jones. Anime fat hoes, anime fat hoes, anime fat hoes, anime fat hoes. See, the problem is nobody's put a timeline together for you fucks until we came along. Who's we? None of your goddamn business. Y'all aren't innocent. Y'all are all fucking guilty involving this case with this little girl. If
Wow.
not, fuck y'all. Sue me. Go ahead. All y'all get some money together and sue daddy. Did I already say fuck y'all? If not, fuck y'all.
Look at his eyes.
Oh, Mel, what up, bitch? Oh, Ronnie.
Jesus Christ, dude. I don't. I don't even have words for that. I don't even have words for that. That speaks for itself, in my opinion. That absolutely speaks for itself, 100%. And what did you say? 2 hours and 38 minutes. Oh, shut up. Okay. All right. So here we go. Now, I haven't heard this myself yet, so I don't know exactly what we're going to hear, but
We got this. Let her rest.
Whew, wow. So what did you guys think about it?
well, I mean,
I don't know.
what do you mean you don't know? Like, pretty simple. She's basically telling channels like you to shut the fuck up.
Guilty right now for continuing to chat. Now I feel like, man, maybe I should just. But see, it's
maybe.
I just don't believe. I don't know. I'm just doubting that it was an accident, you know. And I think the
Here,
dad.
let me justify. She just said, I feel guilty. I feel guilty about commenting or saying anything now, doing anything that I've been doing. But let me just think of some reason to justify my actions so I can keep pimping this tragedy.
The dad is too. I don't know why the mom is so satisfied that with all these weird things that.
Because anybody who's entertaining anything that Cuck Church is saying is a fucking idiot. Anybody who's entertaining what Ryan Upchurch is saying about this case is a fucking idiot. Take your nose out of his ass, okay? And then you'll realize that he's not making any sense. Just because people like this define someone's credibility based on YouTube subscriber count. I can't relate to that shit. Like, I simply can't relate to that shit.
Especially when she said that Kylie would not have drove drunk. She would have called her. She's done it before.
Every parent would say that.
So
every parent with a kid as responsible as her kid came off would say that. But I'm telling you, unfortunately, sadly, her daughter didn't make it past 16. Unfortunately. But anybody here who's ever raised a teenager into adulthood will go back and go, you know what? Man, my kid was slick. I didn't catch it at the time because I didn't want to believe that my kid would lie to me. I didn't want to believe, but kids do that. That's not to say anything negative about Kylie. All I'm saying is that good kids will lie to their parents. It's just something kids do. It's something teenagers do. They lie to their folks. It happens. You know, kids want to do things and they want to be trusted and they want independence and they're going to want more than their parents are willing to give them. And they're going to step into certain waters. You know, I didn't mean that as some sort of jab or anything like that. I just realized the wording I used. I apologize. But they're going to try out certain things that are going to test limits. Because if my mom is saying this is what you don't do, ever do, you know, well, my mom doesn't trust me enough. I get great grades. I do everything I'm supposed to do. If I'm responsible enough to graduate 2 years earlier than everybody else, well, guess what? Everybody else my age, guess what? I bet you, you know, I can drive if I've had a couple of beers. I'd never tell my mom because I don't want the argument. And I want everybody to be honest. I've done this before. I've done this on this channel before. Not regarding this case, but I've done this on this channel before. And I'm glad that I've got almost 500 people in here. I want you all to actually let me do something else. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Let me do something here. All right. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, there we go. So I put a poll in the chat. So please.
Why is she accepting that it was an accident? Like, I don't know.
Okay, let me explain why she's accepting that it was an accident. Because law enforcement communicates with her because she's the one that's entitled to answers. Not you, not me, not anybody in your chat, not anybody in my chat, not anybody on Twitter. Law enforcement is obligated to give her answers on what they know. And only enough that they don't feel is going to obstruct their investigation. Plain and simple. It's real easy. Why does she think that? Why does she think that? Because law enforcement is probably communicating with her and they've probably already said, hey, it was an accident. We believe it to be an accident. And so we're gonna wait for the toxicology so we can get more answers, but we don't believe that this was a homicide or a murder or anything of that nature. And again, we don't know the circumstances. We don't know the details of their investigation. We don't know what they've uncovered. We don't know the circumstances of the situation. But I promise you that if there is one person on this planet that knows the most of what law enforcement knows, it's that nice lady that we just saw talking. Guaranteed. The fact that you have the audacity to act like you're entitled to these answers and use that to justify continuing to do what this woman just begged you to not do, that you even said, I kind of feel guilty about. You just said it. It came out of your mouth. Well, stop then. Stop.
Oh. I don't know what to say now.
No shit, you don't know what to say.
Yeah, don't take me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't think she's grieving. Like, to me, I don't feel like that you have to see somebody cry on, like, in the public
Okay.
for them to cry behind closed doors. You know,
And let
she
me
hasn't done.
explain to you, at least let me speculate as to what the nature of this gathering was that took place yesterday. And again, I want to say that it was really, really tacky for YouTubers to show up and stream it, because that's not what it was intended for. That was not intended for YouTubers. That was clearly intended for loved ones of Kylie, people who knew her and wanted to celebrate her life, not mourn her death. Kylie was a musician, someone who believes strongly in celebration of life. So they chose to honor her that way. That's at least my speculation of what the nature of that supposedly was. That would explain why she was smiling. That would explain why she seemed grateful to be around all of these people. They were simply trying to honor the spirit of this young girl and what she would want. Because I don't want a bunch of people sitting around crying. That's one of the scariest thoughts of when I die, is imagining my loved ones going through pain. That's one of the scariest thoughts of death for me. I don't want that. I want people to celebrate the positive things about me. Because I believe that I am on this earth for as long as I'm supposed to be on this earth. That's just my personal belief. I'm not saying that about anybody else. I'm saying, me personally, I'm only on this earth for as long as I'm supposed to be on this earth. And so my time here, I hope that I leave a mark with people that I care about, to where they would celebrate me in a positive way. That's the kind of impression that I would like to leave with my loved ones and the people that I care about and that care about me. Simple. But see, some people just can't understand that. Some people are just such selfish assholes that they just can't even grasp this.
She hasn't done very many interviews after it came out because she's doing it privately. And like, I'm the private type that I show my emotions privately. I wouldn't do it in public. I will fight it and block it out if I'm like up here in front of people, or like if she's like doing an interview that are for a freaking TV station, or that everybody's going to see. You know, everybody's different. Some people can't even hold it together and they just lose it. And some people are strong and they're able to hold it back until they're private, you know? So I'm not judging her for that at all. And I'm not saying that I don't think she's grieving, but I'm just confused how she could not be wondering. I think there has to be a part of her that's a little bit wondering, like a little bit like doubting, like, especially
if she is, it's because of people like you that are creating that doubt in her mind. When she's bombarded with all these crazy rumors and all this ridiculous speculation that's simply not welcome. It's not. But any doubt that's created outside of what law enforcement has provided her with as far as information goes, that's provided by assholes like this. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult this girl because I don't know her. I haven't really watched her content. I'm judging her content based on the fact that she has 10 people on panel for 8 hours that I've only seen drama channels do. But I don't know her. I have not reviewed her enough to really form a personal opinion on her character so much. So I'm not going to take jabs at her in that sense. But I am going to criticize the things that I'm hearing her say because I simply don't agree with them. And I'm seeing somebody who seems to be completely clueless.
Especially from all the stuff she said before they found her. Like, no, she wouldn't. She's a good driver. She wouldn't be, she knows the place. She knows the area. She wouldn't be driving drunk. If she was that intoxicated, she wouldn't try to drive home. Like, all of that. I don't know. I don't know if deep down she is doubting it. She just has to accept. I don't know how she could accept it though. I don't know. I don't even know what to think. But no, I don't think.
See, and this is why these people think.
Grieving.
This is why these people think that they're the good guys, right? Because they think that by doing all of this crazy speculation and coming up with these whack ass theories, you know, they think that that's justified because they're saying positive things about her, saying, well, she wouldn't drive drunk. This is a nice girl, blah, blah, blah. You know, but any realist who's going to do any speculation on a crime case is going to take that into consideration as a possibility that maybe, even though she's a good kid, she might have lied to her mom and she might have made a bad call because she's 16. You know, like, that doesn't mean that's not a defamation of her character in any way. That's not an assassination of her character in any way. That's just simply a realistic observation if you've ever had a 16-year-old. Or if you've ever been 16 and weren't Amish.
I think she's going through a hard time. I'm not putting that against her. I'm just saying hopefully she could understand why we're sitting here trying to figure it out, because we don't, there's just too many red flags. There's too many things that just don't add up.
No, there's not.
So, and for some reason, I think the dad is a little bit, I mean, we saw the dad, how he reacted when AEWP told him, when Doug was telling him about this specifics of how they found the car and Kylie. You could tell he was so suspicious. You could tell he's like, wait, what? So I think the dad is,
who's also not qualified to give that kind of an opinion. He's not trained to give that kind of opinion.
He wants answers. He's wondering, and I think that the mom's just satisfied that there was an accident, maybe. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is that. Or wait, I put up the wrong thing. Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, I put up the right thing. Yeah, Lisa, it could be that.
All right. So let me see here. 72% of you say that you have driven past the legal limit because you felt confident to drive. 72% of you said that you have. 28% of you said that you haven't. And I'm going to go ahead and call at least half of that 28% fucking liars. Like, get real, dude. You are fucking lying. Like, straight up. You are lying. What's up, Cinema Shogun? Good to see you, buddy. What are you saying here? The mother doesn't believe it's foul play, and she's asked these people to stop with the nonsense. This lady's personality is dry as...
We're not want to be detectives, but that's what we do. We like to go over cases and try to figure it out. And what do you mean, Uncle Leo? You have to admit there's some weird things, and they haven't gave us the answers yet. They haven't said.
And I love how people lie, and that's the whole reason I put the poll up, because I didn't want to say type of 1 or type of 2 or whatever, because, you know, like, the poll allows you to be anonymous. You know what I mean? Like, maybe your mom watches the channel too, and you lied to your mom this whole time and got away with lying to her, and she's watching the shit, and you don't want to incriminate yourself to your parents. I totally get that, which is the chances of that are pretty slim, but I wanted to take that into consideration as a possibility. But the whole, you know, that's why I put up the poll, and like, it's anonymous. So, and people still fucking lied, you know, still lied.
Accident yet. Nobody has said, Placer County hasn't said it's an accident. They said, we will get you the results in a couple months. Nobody told us.
They told you that. They told me that, you that, everybody else that, but they did. You don't know what they told the mom. You don't know what they told the mom or the dad. You have no idea. And I guarantee you, it's more information than what they have given you. I guarantee you that. Why this isn't even a common sense conclusion to come to for this person is beyond me.
He told us it was an accident. Who has ever said that? Who has ever confirmed that it's an accident? Nobody has yet. So you can't say that. Nobody has came out.
Like, Raj, Thank you, buddy. Tiffany Taboo, if Zav cared so much, then she should go back to her morals and stop pushing conspiracy theories and catering to Ryan's crazy theories. Agreed. Because that to me speaks volumes of her character right there, that she entertains this guy's. It speaks volumes of her in level of intelligence, and it speaks volumes of her character that she entertains this guy. And I think that the only reason that she allows him on her panel is because it gets her views. I think that she just doesn't have any type of morality when it comes to being a responsible YouTuber. I just don't think that she does, period. I think that she just simply has Ryan on there, and because you could see, like, watch, I'm going to get into that stuff too. I'm going to get into that. And you know, and you're going to be able to see her reaction to some of the idiotic things that come out of his mouth, but she like bites her tongue because she doesn't want to lose her cash cow and having him with her in his favor, because it makes her money.
Came out officially and said it was an accident. Nobody did. And the people that were there that found Kylie are saying it looked freaking highly suspicious.
Yeah, this is all some straight,
Okay?
this is all some straight JS for Justice bullshit. This is who she completely reminds me of. And if she's not careful, she's going to end up getting sued just like she is.
And nobody's came out and said it's an accident. So why aren't we allowed to discuss some of this stuff? Why aren't we allowed to discuss all the red flags and discuss all the information out there? Nobody's even said it's an accident yet, Uncle Leo. Nobody did, Leo.
Not to you.
So I don't know what you're talking about. They haven't said that yet.
See, that's that sense of entitlement that, you know, you're not entitled to answers.
I'm not blaming. Wait, I know it says not you, but were you trying to say now you blame it? You're not saying that I was. You understood what I said. I hope you weren't trying to say I'm blaming AWP. I'm saying they were there. They said it was suspicious. That's why I trust the AWP. I'm saying the opposite. I trust AWP. So they were the first to see how the car was, how Kylie was.
Nah,
they said
she hears me.
Something looked off.
She hears me.
Something was suspicious.
I promise.
The whole thing. There's no way. Remember, Doug said it would be hard to accidentally drive in. There would be too many things that would come before to make you realize, wait, this isn't the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I do trust them. And that's what makes me think, because I was thinking it was an accident until more stuff comes out. And
no, you were thinking it was an accident until Ryan Upchurch decided to join your panel and say nice things about your channel and continues to join your panel. That's what changed.
These guys that I do trust a lot and what they said and their opinions. So yeah, now I think that there might be something to it, and there might be something suspicious. Anyway.
All right. So
yeah, I think the mom and dad are on a different page. I think the mom
how do you know?
Is just
how in blue perfect fucking hell could you possibly know that?
Okay with it being an accident, or accepting that it's an accident, and the dad wants answers. The dad's like, something's not right.
Really? Have you talked to the dad? Have you heard him come out with a statement saying that something's not right and that he wants answers? Have you heard him say that? No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks, Verna.
See, that's that
I know,
irresponsible.
that's what I was saying. Yeah,
that's that irresponsible speculation I was talking about. Hold on, let me fast forward because somebody said 602.
Right here. I'm up. Sorry. Yes, it was awesome. Chef. Oh, Tony Ferguson. A guy named Tony Ferguson. But it was Nate Diaz's last fight tonight with UFC.
Okay.
And he kicked his ass. It was awesome.
Yeah, I know who Nate Diaz is, but I can't picture
how you
who
been?
Ferguson is. Good.
Translation, I don't know what the fuck you're
Dude, I
talking about.
noticed all the traffic on your page, man.
Yeah,
All these people
you've
being
helped
like,
a lot.
Zav, look here. Zav, look here.
It's crazy, bro.
And you've helped a lot with that. You brought a lot of people over.
Mm.
Thank you.
You think?
I'm sorry for the ones that are over here, being crazy. Guys, if you're from my page and on Zeb's page, leave her alone when I come in here. Don't be like, Ron's here, Ron's here, Ron's here.
Wow.
Dude, just let her do her thing.
Really? Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
I'm
gonna
glad
go
because I
over
don't
that.
see. For some reason, I always don't see you. I still don't see you in chat, but so I'm glad they let me
Really?
know. But yeah.
I'm gonna
Now-
type, hey.
Shoot, this is-
They're going to get into something here in just a few minutes. That I'm going to go ahead and express my opinions on because I did some digging. Somebody else in this chat, a couple of people in this chat did some digging to find out the truth, to confirm certain things. And I'm going to express my opinions on that and only my opinions on that. But yeah, and I'm not naming the people who went over it just because it's not my place they didn't know that I was going to bring this up and talk about it. So,
Okay, Ryan, the question
Mhm.
of the hour is, did
Mhm.
you know Ronnie was arrested?
Yes,
He
that's
was,
what I
he was
wanted to-
arrested.
Yes.
What do
Look,
you know?
look, hold on. I want to show you corporal punishment. I think he abused his wife. I think it's what it sounds like.
Mm.
Corporal injury.
Yeah. Did I say? Oh my
I knew what
God.
you meant.
Okay.
But it
that
also
means
says
corporal
simple
injury
assault.
means that he caused like an injury on her.
Mhm.
Like it wasn't just something little, like he injured her. No, somebody, it did say simple assault, but then somebody sent me updated where it did say corporal injury.
Wow.
Or shoot, now it's, hold on. Let me find that and then
But
see
there's no
what-
mugshot, so
there's
we
no
just don't know
mugshot.
what he
but-
looks like.
That's what makes me wonder. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, man, they could be putting that so everybody stop talking about him. Oh, he's
So-
in jail. One, leave him alone. He's already in trouble. See,
Here's the first one, but there's a new one that does say corporal injury or whatever. But this first one just says simple assault. But it kind of sounds like him, right? Like, okay, 175 pounds, 6 foot, brown eyes, black hair.
all right.
It says
So
Oh, wait, what does that say?
Corporal-
I'm
Shadow
going to go
Wolf?
ahead and
Is
Yes.
that right? I don't
now this was brought to my attention. I did some digging. I had Cherry do some digging, and I went to someone else who it pertains to. Like I said, I don't know if they want me mentioning them, but so this is actually accurate. Okay. Apparently Ronnie Jones was arrested for, I guess, for what it says here at the bottom, which is simple assault, injury to a spouse, or inflicting corporate injury, which is basically California's way of saying domestic violence, right? And I did some digging. Well, actually, Cherry did some digging and actually confirmed that it was actually Ronnie Jones that did get arrested. Now, this is something that obviously I cannot get behind in any way, shape, or form. This is not okay. I don't know what the circumstances are. Whatever the circumstances are, if somebody's charged with this, then there's got to be proof, because there's got to be a way they feel confident enough to convict them in a court of law. And so there's not some little misunderstanding that took place here. People put their hands on somebody. We don't know exactly what the circumstances were, but he's the one that got charged. No, Red Wing, it is the right guy. It is absolutely the right guy. I've confirmed it. As a matter of fact, if you want me to, I can pull up yeah, I know he denied it. But it's him. I promise you it's him. Now that he's denying it, look, you know what? Fuck this. Give me a second. Go ahead and because I don't like the fact that he's lying about it.
I don't.
See, let me see.
So
Let me
Because
see
everybody
that
said that that was the address.
give me 1
you
second
had
here.
verified.
Oh wow.
Who said that? Who just said that?
A lot of people in the chat.
Now there's
said
no
that was
mugshot.
the address you had
Okay, but I
verified.
will show you.
All right, what's the address? Hang on a second. Let me get the Google
There's
Earth.
no mugshot available, at least not yet. But I will show you the train of the pattern of which this was discovered. All right. And one more thing. No. Sorry. I know I saved it. Shit, give me 1 second here. Is that it? No, that's not it. Oh god, that's annoying. There we go. Sorry, guys. But yeah, that's absolutely Ronnie. And he fucking lied. If he was on that channel and he said that it wasn't him, he fucking lied. So hold on a second. All right. Yeah, I'm going to walk you guys through this. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to walk you guys through this. All right. So as you guys can see, this is the thing right there. This is the arrest. That is clearly the same guy. Okay. Now I'll show you a pattern. You guys are looking at this. Okay, well, that's just a picture of Ronnie. Where'd you get that picture? Okay, I'll walk you through that. Because I was thinking the same thing as it was being sent to me. I was like, this doesn't prove anything. I want a mugshot. But Cherry is a fantastic researcher. And so this was give me 1 second and I will show you how I got to that. Hold on. All right. Now, this is oh, it's the same guy. It's clear the same guy. My bad. He had shown another Ronnie Jones. Yeah. No. This was clearly him. Let me go ahead and. Okay. Now, as you see, listed as his relatives in the police report is this name right here, right? Now, which would be his wife. And here we have no, hold on. Here we have that's that same person. Okay. That's Ronnie back there, but you can't really see him that good. Here's her again. This is the same picture right here, except she's in the picture with him. Another picture of Ronnie with his wife, the person listed. That's their marriage photo right there. Got married. And there it all is right there, folks. Okay? Anybody not convinced? No, I see what you guys are saying. See, this is why I don't do things when I say that I do things to get to the truth. Okay? I don't fucking cherry pick shit. I want you to understand that. I don't cherry pick shit. And I'm going to get into I'm going to make something abundantly clear too, because you guys are like, "Oh my God, all this does is strengthen Ryan Upchurch's bullshit crazy theory." Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't, because anybody with common sense knows that there's a lot of people out there who do fucked up shit and they get arrested. That doesn't make them conspires to commit a murder of somebody who, as far as we know, died of an accident. We all saw Ryan Upchurch's way of just getting to all of this, and none of it had anything to do with what I just did, what Cherry did, which was very, very, very simple and very, very, very easy. She saw the relative listed, looked up the relative on social media, found Ronnie in all the pictures. Simple, easy. That's it. But that doesn't mean that Ryan Upchurch's bullshit, crazy, insane theories are in any way solidified, in any way, shape, or form. But as far as Ronnie Jones goes, I got no sympathy for the guy. Do I think he should be accused of being of having conspired to commit a murder that never took place? No, I don't. But after he pulled this shit and then fucking went on somebody's channel and lied about it, the dude's got no sympathy coming from me. And this isn't a poor reflection on Ick and Mel either. How's Ick and Mel supposed to know this? You know everybody's personal life. I don't know anybody's personal life that goes on in this chat. I don't want to know your personal life. But once somebody comes along, that's the thing, is this dude was on a channel and he had an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? That was me. Some personal shit happened between me and my wife. Make judgments if you want, but it's none of your fucking business what went on in my house. He didn't do that. He fucking lied, is what he did. And I can't defend somebody who did that. I just can't, So now, because he did that and fucking lied. Yeah, Yeah, Ronnie isn't on anyone's radar. He absolutely didn't do anything with Kylie. No one else in the chat is airing out their skeletons. Exactly. We're not saying that this makes Ryan Upchurch correct in any way, shape, or form. We're not saying that, there's any reason to look into him. As far as the facts of the Kylie Rodney case go, this man has no connection. He was somebody who decided to call into Ick and Mel's panel and say that he had cousins that were at this party. That's it. But that's the thing is, guess what? When you do this and then you have a whole shit ton of people and you end up getting arrested, well, guess what? That becomes public record, and these people who are looking to tear you apart are going to dig that shit up. And the worst thing that you could fucking do is lie about it. I mean, it's just that simple. So again, I don't know the circumstances of what happened. I don't know if he was provoked by his wife, or if she hit him first, or she beat him up and then he left a bruise, or she lied on him. I don't know. I'm not saying that any of that is the case. All I'm saying is that's him who got arrested, and he fucking lied about it and said it wasn't him, which makes it look even worse. Seems to have absolutely no integrity. But yeah, that's all I'm saying is I entertained the idea. I entertained the thought of having him on this channel. I even emailed with him a couple of times, but now I got no interest in talking to that dude at all. Anonymous Sleuth, I spent over a week investigating Ryan Upchurch claims and found them all to be false. Enjoying the live, man. Thanks, Anonymous Sleuth. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. So, and that's all I'm going to discuss about it. Anybody who brings up Ronnie to me again, I'm going to be like, like, really? I just said everything that needed to be said. As far as that goes, I'm not saying another word. As far as I'm concerned, he's out of the equation completely. And you know what? Guess what? Even though he did pull that bullshit, whatever the fucking circumstances might be, and he still plans on suing Ryan Upchurch, and there's no proof, no connection to him having anything to do with Kylie, and he's being falsely accused on a constant basis and bashed, he's still going to have a case against Ryan Upchurch. He's still going to have a civil case against Ryan Upchurch. That does not cancel that out. One thing has nothing to do with the other.
First.
113.
Hey, Tiff.
Yeah.
Why he's looking at that? Because I social media when I don't think
Wondering.
the
I will. Thank you.
Or
Hear that. Hey, it's
Hey,
you.
how are you?
It's really you. Okay. I wasn't sure because we couldn't see you in chat.
No, I had some people texting me saying that, suggesting I join, I guess. And I heard you mention that you'd reached out to me before and hadn't heard back. I never got that message. If you did, I apologize.
Welcome, Anonymous Sleuth.
No, you got back, but I asked you to come on the show. You just didn't answer the show, but you did get back to me. You sent me a nice message on Twitter, but I said, hey, if you want to come on, but you just didn't mention coming.
Oh, yeah. So I was, until today is the first time I've really spoke since, it happened. I just kind of, because I've been dealing with the family and stuff. So I just figured today I'd give some input what I may, know to kind of.
Yeah, what do you know, man? I heard you were okay. I was getting emails, and I didn't want to say anything because I couldn't verify it, but I was getting emails that
I haven't gotten that
true
far.
or not,
Mike Roach, I haven't gotten that far. I'm looking forward to it.
That was indeed Jagger.
I like to react.
No, no, that's good.
I like to react to things if I can. I've gotten maybe about 3 or 4 minutes past this point. So we're gonna go over the rest of this. So yeah, we're definitely gonna go over the rest of this. But like I said, I like to do reactions if I can. I saw this happening. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great.
That's getting taken completely out of context.
Wow,
And
okay.
So just so you know, so there's a group out there that follows me from case to case to case, and this is all they do. They try to describe me. What I said was,
And that's actually true.
when-
Like, dude, I made the mistake of engaging on Twitter. Like, this guy is constantly defending himself on Twitter. Like, he's always getting attacked on Twitter. I don't know what he's getting attacked for. I don't care to know. All I care about is the fact that this guy was there at the scene with Kylie's grandfather and father, and I wanted to hear his account of it. That's it. That's all I give a shit about. I wanted to hear his account of that and his account of his interactions with AWP. That's all I wanted. I don't care about everything else that's going on. And everybody's like, oh my God, dude, this man, this is why I'm not in Facebook groups anymore, by the way, because I hate getting in these back and forths on threads with people. Like, and yet for some reason, once I get started, I can't back out. But then this time I finally did. I was just like, you know what? I just can't even fucking talk to these people. Like one of them just went full Karen. And I was just like, dude, I can't take you seriously anymore. And I'm not even going to entertain this anymore. So like, yeah, I just don't. It got to that point, but this guy's constantly getting berated by people. And I don't know the circumstances. But I don't care to know. That's not my business. I'm just grateful to the guy for coming onto my channel and speaking and on his account of what happened. And that's it. I'm not here to white knight for anybody, whether it be whoever he's feuding with or him. That's not what I'm here to do, man. I'm a YouTuber. The guy had something to contribute regarding the case, and we went over it. Case closed.
When we were at the recovery site, Doug from Adventures with Purpose took us off to the side. Now, keep in mind, we had, the reason I told this is because we had no idea that he was mic'd.
And this is a really funny thing because there's a guy that we vowed never to mention on this channel again, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it. Now, little over a year ago, maybe even going on 2 years ago, even, there was this dude. It might have even been 2 years ago. There was this dude who I had become friends with on YouTube. He actually helped me out a lot. My channel got struck and I was unable to go do live streams for a certain period of time. But it was him who allowed me to go on his channel in the meantime and helped me fight, because I didn't even think you could fight. I thought you just had to take a strike and just deal with it. But you can fight the strikes. You can totally, you can state a case with YouTube and fight the strike and have it removed. So it was this guy who helped me with that. Now this guy here, his voice is a dead ringer for Truthy Magoo. I mean, a dead ringer. So people are like, oh my God, that's Truthy. And I'm telling you right now, when we were proving, when it was me, Annie from 10 to Life, that girl who was my mod at the time, and Josh from Dad Challenge Podcast, all of us were group texting and basically all digging and sleuthing to find out if Truthy, because this is what happened. Truthy's girlfriend went on. Now this is what happened. There was a drama channel that dragged him for like 8 hours, like a stream as long as this one. And they spent the whole time dragging him, and he drank a lot and he didn't really, you know what I mean? He didn't handle it well. And then he had his girlfriend put a post on YouTube in community saying that he killed himself, that he's dead, right? Totally wasn't true. Many of us suspected that it wasn't true. Myself included. I just didn't publicly outright say it Because if I'm wrong about something like that, well, then I'm going to come off like a total fucking asshole. You know what I mean? But I suspected it just wasn't true. And he got the whole community, like everybody was freaking out, like, oh my God, you know, he died, killed himself, you know? And then, so me, Annie, Josh, that girl, we all just did all of this, just digging and digging and digging to find out if he was actually dead, right? And we had to kind of privately dox him, which is like find out who he really was. And when, you know, we got a hold of his pictures and his real name and blah, blah, blah. And I can guarantee you that this is not the same guy. Just so you know, I have seen, now I'll say this much, Truthy's first name is actually Michael. It's not Steve. And don't look anything alike. But as far as their voices go, he's a dead ringer. Like straight up, he's a dead ringer. So I get people going, holy shit, he sounds just like Truthy. I bet that's true. No, it's not. It's not. Truthy's gone. He's off YouTube. He would never have the audacity to show his face here again after what he pulled, because thousands of people mourned him. And then me and Annie and EBJJ Comic Nut confronted him, because I actually got him to actually admit that he was alive on this channel. And that was the most people I ever had in chat in my life. I can't even remember how many thousands of people I had in here. But it was basically the entire YouTube community who was pissed and wanted answers. Faking your own suicide for sympathy? No. So, but I promise you, this is not the same guy. But I will admit, he sounds just like him.
That it was really a hot set, you know, and it was being
It's
filmed and everything.
spooky, actually.
So he took us aside and he told us the story about the tow truck driver or the service driver. And I know that they've said that you know, we want to keep, you know, this person's identity private, even though they've described Jagger 2 at sea. But to us, what I disclosed, because this is the truth, is he said that they showed tow truck driver a photo of Jagger, and the tow truck driver said that's him. Now, just so you know, so everybody's clear, I do not buy the story. So I'm not confirming it. I'm saying that that is what they told us, that he confirmed it. I'm not saying that they lied about it. I just don't.
I'm so sorry. What story you all talking about?
So he said that they kept it. You said it was an open mic, so you heard it, right? You're not supposed to hear it.
Well, when the Adventures with Purpose came out with that video, you know, our voices are on there, so obviously they were microphoned. But Doug and everybody, we had no idea when we showed up there, you know, that we were being recorded. So what I just told everybody was, hey, listen, you know, in that conversation, they did say that Jagger was the guy, and I said to everybody was like, I think everybody needs to like dial this back on Jagger a little bit, because nothing's been proven, you know. Like, I mean,
so they showed the tow truck or the roadside assistant guy. They showed him the picture of Jagger, and he confirmed that he said that was him.
That's what they said, that that's what the story, how it was told.
Right. Let me be clear about that. What Steve here is saying, all that he's saying is that Adventures with Purpose told him that they talked to this tow truck driver, and the guy basically described Jagger, and then Adventures with Purpose showed the tow truck driver a picture of Jagger and asked if that's him. And then the tow truck driver said yes. But he wasn't there for that. He's just simply saying that that's what AWP told him that happened. He's not saying that that's what happened. He's saying Adventures with Purpose told him. It's hearsay. Okay? It's hearsay. Take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? But he's saying that Adventures with Purpose was filming this when they told him that, And that's why he wants to confront them and say, hey, show that video. But they're never going to do that. I wouldn't imagine that they would ever do that.
Different, you know, than what was in the video. It was, you know, he said that the tow truck driver said that he felt that she was drugged and you know, it was completely incoherent. He did say the seatbelt thing, like, has been disclosed, like she couldn't figure out how to work. She asked how to work the seatbelts, but he said that he started filming her because he felt that she had been like roofied or something. But you know, there's some important parts about that are, you know, I was staying in the same hotel as the FBI card team, right? You know, the child abduction rapid deployment team. I mean, they're tops in the world. U.S. Marshals, Homeland Security was there, and they got this lead. Now, we were told that they gave it to law enforcement the day after they spoke to the guy, but in the video it said the guy says he gave it to them a week earlier. So I don't know which is true, but either way, it would take FBI hours to verify that, because we were also told it was AAA. You know, they didn't use the vague
It was
thing. And law,
AAA.
yeah, and
Oh,
law
well,
enforcement.
okay. I didn't know that for sure. It was AAA. Okay.
Yeah, and after exactly, and they is down. So I got found.
This is
I was
all
with
stuff that we already
Paul,
heard.
Father, you know.
That's not what I'm
I didn't know what
interested
to
in
ask,
right
because I know
now.
you don't think that there was any foul play, right? You think it was just
Well,
an accident.
I, you know, up until a few days ago,
Yeah. He's repeating the same stuff that he said on my channel. And if you want, you guys are familiar with this channel, you can go watch this, but I'm just going to skip past this stuff.
Not meant.
And
He did indeed.
or AAA person, you think he's telling the truth, or you think he's lying?
I don't think it's accurate. I think if he did indeed service a car out there, I think that it was somebody else. I don't think there's any way, because here's the thing: the phone pings it. You know, I was given the cell phone ping location when I got to Truckee, and it's 50 yards from where that car was found. So that means, and also keep in mind, like, the phone records, like the Verizon phone records, stuff, they've been accessed, and so is their social media and everything like that. So the location, you know, so the phone has to go in the water. Before she went to the party, she stopped and got 2 gallons of gas. She was almost, and that was her normal kind of routine, like, you know, as 16-year-old. Like it was taken at a truck, and the as of everything to turn all day. Yeah, but of who there, so you know, that
Did other side or
so Ventures with Purpose won't talk with me anymore. So, and they but from what I heard on a live stream today or yesterday, that they actually clarified that the passenger window was down but not broken out. And what we were told when we arrived on scene is that the passenger window was down and that the rear driver passenger was 3/4 of the way down.
The dude wiped it off.
Yeah, I mean, you
In
can
the video,
put it
there.
down.
No, he's actually
He
eating
even says underwater.
right
Underwater,
now,
he says
Mike
underwater.
Crotch. Thank you, though.
Yeah, he wipes the other window too with his hand.
Yeah. I don't know. Today, I mean, I heard somebody sent me a clip. I could try and find it in Discord. Somebody sent me a clip where today he said, or it might have been yesterday. I apologize. He seemed to walk that back and say, and this was actually I think it was on Grizzly's show. He seemed to walk it back and say that it was down. I don't know though. I mean, it does keep going back and forth.
Oh, wait a minute. What about this? What if they're calling him the tow truck driver to defer the fact that he was actually in a van to give a different visual?
Now, the fact that this stuff, I want to be clear about something. I'm not playing this to explore Kylie's case. This is just more because I just like showing how much of a dipshit Riot Upchurch is. It amuses me. So that's all this is about. As far as exploring the Kiely Rodni case, I'm done with that. Until there's new information that is released, I'm not going to go over anything. I think it's all been gone over. I will be respecting the family's wishes and not going over and trying to speculate or explore anything regarding that case. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to assume that it's an accident until law enforcement confirms otherwise. Plain and simple. Unfortunately, we're going to hear these idiots, not, excluding Steve. I'm not calling him an idiot. He was very kind to join my channel. But I'm going to listen to this panel of fools sit here and try to tear what he's saying apart and and watch Ryan act like a jackass again. Because, like I said, it amuses me.
What if the AAA driver was a real person, which is why he was parked waiting around? Because then if Jagger would have been the guy there, they would have had to have two phones.
Now look at their, hold on. I have to full screen this. Look at their faces as he's talking. Look at the host. She's like, this is why I say she sucks, because she knows he's full of shit. Like, she knows that this dude is completely out of his mind, and she's just milking the dude being there because she knows it gets her views. That's exactly what she's doing. And she encourages his behavior.
Which would have made the tow truck slash AAA driver's story correct. Then he said the only reason he knew about it was because of seeing a picture of it in a coffee shop and was like, wait a minute, that's that girl, right? Dude, what if he's telling the truth? Because that would make sense on why he pinpointed him perfectly, because why would you overshoot it to make yourself even look more guilty unless you're telling the truth?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why.
What do you think, SF Investigation?
I didn't.
I love how she's agreeing with him. She has no idea what the fuck he just said because nothing he said made any sense at all. And she's like, yeah. Please don't jump off my panel and rage quit because you bring me so much money.
To be honest.
So what if? Okay, I'll say it again. I'll say it quicker.
Yeah.
All right. So what if we say the van driver? So you know how everybody's calling him a tow truck driver?
Yeah.
Okay. So a tow truck is not a van. They're two separate things.
Right.
So
It was a service
the
vehicle.
tow truck driver thing. I don't know who that is, but that's kind of weird.
I'll agree with him there. We keep saying tow truck driver, but it was a van. It was a service van. It was a roadside assistance van.
Because he wasn't driving a tow truck, right?
Right.
So if he was a AAA person, that would make more sense because he was there to charge a battery, like you said, right? So that makes sense. Then, if there was two phones to make this happen, the car and the water thing, and Kylie's phone was quote unquote smashed or lost or whatever,
Yeah.
that would be why the tow truck driver said her phone was dead when he tried to call back and it didn't answer, so he had to call another number because it was somebody from the other phone calling him that had the fucking number off the other phone that they smashed and got rid of.
Well, I think he said that she called from somebody else's phone because she said hers was dead.
Yeah, but if she was dead, then she can't though.
But he also said, I mean, listen, I'm just pointing out something. He also said that he was there to service a dead battery, but then they figured out it was really that the car was in neutral, not a dead battery. But then he says, then he told her to keep it running for 2 hours, but you didn't have to charge the battery.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look what they're doing. They showed up, and then if you look at both stories, that would explain why they went back and forth and that they were acting weird, and he was like, bro, they were acting fucking weird, bro. That's because what do you want to bet? The two motherfuckers that was sitting right there was Jagger and Kate, and what's her name was in the back. That's why he gave the description of what looks exactly like Jagger and Kate. And if he don't know nothing about it, of course he's gonna be like, oh yeah, blonde-headed girl, silver CRV, dude, that was like a week ago.
So the guy, so according to Ryan here, the guy driving the service van, yeah, I sped it up because this is long and I don't want to deal with this any more than I absolutely have to. The guy that serviced the van, what Ryan is sitting here saying that it was Kate, whoever that is, and Jagger riding up front, but Kylie was back in the hatch already. Don't you think that guy would have seen that? I mean, he's servicing the car. Like, I mean, and it's a hatch. It's not like it was a trunk. You could see there's a window where you can see what's in there. You don't think he's going to notice a deceased girl? Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
You go, I went and serviced that car. It was really weird because I called, then I couldn't get a hold of them, so I had to sit around for a minute. They called me from another number. That's one phone smash, call with the other phone with the number you got off the phone you just smashed. It fits perfect, like a puzzle piece.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Jesus
So
Christ.
has it been verified that it was Kylie's car?
Right.
Has it been verified that it was Kylie's car?
No, that's the whole thing. But my point is that the FBI
Right.
to AAA immediately, and they would have dispatch records. You know, whoever ordered the service would be a policyholder because that's an insurance product. The guy said that there's video, rear and audio. You know, they wouldn't got this information right away. I mean, they were on top of stuff. Like, I know that there was a guy that Kylie had met in Mexico, and they wanted, just because she just briefly met him, they tracked him down.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't hear that.
Well, that's my
She met a guy in
point.
Mexico?
No, I mean, she was in Mexico on vacation.
That's my point, Lena. Like, she doesn't give a fuck about Ryan Upchurch or what he's saying. None of this stuff means anything to her. She's not trying to advocate for any victims. She's not doing anything except encouraging his behavior, even though she doesn't believe a fucking word of what he's saying. She doesn't invest anything into it, but she pretends like she does because that's a good point, Joe Blow. She's totally losing her soul. Like, that's what she's doing. She's selling her soul to Ryan Upchurch.
Vacation, like a week before she went missing. She had gone down there with Mag's mom, but you know, like, they investigated everybody. Like, they tracked them down instantly when we met with them. You can bet that something like this. I mean, I know that they did. They went out and pulled all those records, and the fact that they're not just pinging around everybody, you know, like, they're not interested. That lead is not of interest anymore.
Did they
What lead's not interested?
interview Jagger?
Sorry, Zab, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
Good one.
Don't forget
sure,
your question, Ryan. But did they interview Jagger? Did the FBI talk to Jagger at all? Do you know?
Yes.
Oh, they
Yes.
did?
Oh yeah. They've talked to they've interviewed
Of course they did.
all the family, all the friends and everything. Yeah.
Oh, they
So
did.
everybody all the names that you'll hear, like, that are you being mentioned,
Of course they did.
you know, like Kate and even like Nate and all those people, they've all been interviewed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they had 45 when I was at the hotel. I know they had 45 just FBI alone there. That doesn't include, you know, there's 3 other agencies involved as well.
If I'm Steve, I'm thinking like I'm on panel with 5 clowns, bro.
I mean, they were talking to everybody.
So once they found the car, they think it's an accident? Because I mean,
No, definitely not. I mean, they processed it, you know, I mean, we were there a long time. I mean, they processed it as a crime scene. They told us, they said, you know, this is a crime scene, you know, and that's how they processed it. They brought in the FBI crime lab at it's a black trailer you've seen over at They brought that in from San Francisco. Took them like 3 or 4 hours to get it there. That was kind of the delay in pulling the car out. One of the delays of getting the car out. They definitely investigated it as a crime. I just don't think that they found anything that really suggests that. Now, listen, how she ended up there is I don't get. You know, I mean, I've been there enough. It's a weird series of turns to make, unless she came down the beach from the other side. And the only way I could see that happening is if there was like other cars with her and they were playing around. They were known to kind of like fuck around in cars, you know, and like.
What do you think? What do you think about the laptop guy?
That's so. So he called me when he found that, because he's like, I have no idea what.
I have a
to
question.
do.
How are all
Yeah.
these people able to call you?
Well, he's somebody I met him when one time when I was out there. He had been searching, and he DM'd me. Well, he kept leaving comments saying, "I DM'd you, please check, please check." And then he's like, "Hey, you remember me?" And this, and I did remember who he was. And he said, "I found this laptop. I'm trying to get a hold of law enforcement. I cannot get through to anybody." So I called Detective Sonier, who's the lead detective on it, and let him know about it. And then I called her, Kylie's father and grandfather, and the grandfather went out there immediately. And
Which one is, just out of curiosity, and it's just because I keep seeing like different stuff on the internet. Which one is the dad and which one's the grandpa?
David Robinson is the grandfather, and Daniel Rodney's her bio guy.
Gotcha. All right.
Hey, Zab.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was the one who emailed you about the windshield.
Oh, okay. Go
I-
ahead.
I
Then
just-
you want to ask him that?
Well, I just find it odd that nobody has mentioned this crack in the windshield above the steering wheel. It's a circular pattern. The window's intact, but it's obvious that window is dented, cracked,
Did you
smashed,
see
however you
it?
want to word it. So I've always pictured this was a tragic accident. Having 4 daughters myself between the ages of 18 and 26,
Okay.
I can imagine them, God forbid, I don't know if she was drinking or not, but even if
She
not,
was.
okay, so we'll say she was drinking. Even if not, driving in that area, it just seems like it was a wrong turn. Maybe she flew, you know how even people have tried to go up that hill and they've gone down and almost gone into the water.
Mhm.
It's almost as if she was maybe going fast, didn't have her seatbelt on, went up over that embankment, down, maybe
no
unfortunately
way.
smacked into the windshield, knocking herself out
Here we go.
and unable to get out. That's what I've always imagined. I
Possible.
think the fact that her car being seen 12 hours later at Boca is completely ridiculous to even think that if something was going, you know, if there was foul play, why would they stay in that area for 12 hours with her car?
Right.
Or
Reverse
God forbid, her car
backwards.
and her body in the back. It just makes no logical sense.
Well, they
Okay,
wouldn't have a choice. I
4
mean, they're probably like,
4
what do you
clowns.
do? Like, they're probably trying to
Especially
figure out what to do. I could see
That's
that.
a long
It went
time
down to
driving.
4 clowns,
You know,
not
but at
5.
that time,
Not a long time. That was just the next morning. What do you mean?
Mhm.
Holly was that's a long time though to have. If God forbid you had a dead body in the car, to just be, yes, is it possible? Yes, but it's just not probable.
Hey, Zav, if you reverse the story that's been told, so the story that we know right now, if you look at it from front to back, it makes no sense. If you flip the story and do it from back to front, it makes perfect sense. There wasn't a party. They were seen at Boca. After they were seen at Boca, car gets dumped.
I love her
car
face.
gets dumped. They create a party. Everyone leaves. That's how AWP found the car there. That's why the AAA guy's there. Everything makes sense. But if you look at the story and flip it back to how it's supposed to be, nothing makes sense.
And also, the timeline of when the car was supposedly seen by the AAA guy, she wasn't a missing person, so he would not have known.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Right.
But it still doesn't change the fact that they would have her car for 12 hours in the same area and risk getting caught.
Well, that would make it where we don't know how long they had it. So there's really no time on how long they had it. 12
we
hours
pretty
or
much
1 hour.
know when she got from the party time to when they said the AAA guy made this claim. You know what I mean? Odds are it was not her vehicle.
Why?
I think that's what's being basically said. It's not
Right.
been confirmed and it wasn't her vehicle. That's my personal opinion. It just doesn't make any
Do you think do you think the guy thinks it was her vehicle though, or is he just?
Yeah,
Do you think he's
I think he's legit. I think he probably maybe serviced a similar car.
I think he's mistaken and probably, and remember at the beginning of that interview, he was introduced. Thank you, Hecab. Thank you. He was introduced as a longtime fan and supporter of AWP. So I think that he just wanted to have something to contribute, and convinced himself that that's what it was. I'm not going to call the man a liar. I'm just going to say that he was simply mistaken.
Or maybe even a CRV. I just don't think it's
seems
logical
like a
to think
huge
that it was
coincidence, though.
her
Like
vehicle.
I don't believe in coincidences like that.
That
though.
would
Like,
be a
if
really
there's a
big-
girl and a guy, the girl's acting really weird, the same kind of car, the same like.
We don't know though. We do not know if it was the same kind of. We don't know anything. I just think if you really think about it logically, it's not probable of what happened because they're risking. Yes, they're kids, but she's already like obviously her family's already even wondering where. It's 2 hours past the time her family started looking for her. Why would they stay in the same area?
Right.
Just,
It
I don't
wasn't
know.
in Boca though.
That's right near Prosser Reservoir. Yeah, it's the
And
same
if you take
area.
if you take that scenario where the dude's saying it's true, wouldn't that explain why everyone that was around there was like, "Hey, don't check at the last known location. Check everywhere else." So they checked everywhere else. There was nothing.
Right.
Well, I guess they thought AWP was going to get tired and just didn't know about AWP.
This is a tragedy pimping at its best, Chronicles. So, and when they do it again, I'm going to cover it then too.
But I do find it odd.
Which would explain why everybody's pissed after they found her.
Yeah, why it's Steve? Don't you find it weird that Jagger and Kate both are so mad at
Um,
AWP for finding? Like
Not
they
to mention
found
they're
her
the-
friend. Why are they so
They're not hyped up. I sped up the playback, Lisa C.
mad about that? That looks guilty to me.
Well, I'm not super thrilled with them either. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm super grateful they found her. I think that the notification process was bad. I think them throwing the family and other people under the bus on that is I think it all could have been done correctly.
When you say throw under the bus, what do you mean?
Yeah, I didn't see
Well-
them throwing anybody under the bus. That's why I'm confused with all that.
Well, because
Like,
they're saying that the family was notified. And they're saying the family's lying about being notified.
they were notified. I mean, they were notified the
That's
way
their-
that the contact info that they had. We seen they notified the people that they had, and we
Mhm.
saw them tell the dad too.
But I told the dad and brought the dad there.
because you were contacted, correct?
That was you in
No,
that
no.
video?
Yes,
Why was your face blurred out?
because they know I'm going to.
Oh, that was
the truth.
you.
Yes.
I didn't
Oh,
realize.
yeah.
That was you that
They're
blurred out.
not gonna-
Duh. What do you
I
think?
didn't-
Why do
wow,
you
okay, I'm
think?
not blurred out. I didn't realize that was you that was blurred out. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sleuthers here, folks. Sleuthers, guys. They didn't. What do you think that his relevance here is? This is no offense to him. I'm just saying, like, what the fuck do you think that his relevance to all this is? Yes, he was there. That's the whole reason I brought him on my channel. I'm not going to just bring somebody on my channel just because they say that they were there. No, dude, he was clearly there.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
he
also,
wants to-
Mama Force theory.
If
If we were
to answer your
16,
question,
17, if
Wait,
we
hold
were
on. Let him answer the question. He didn't answer. Go ahead.
when you said they notified me or whatever, or I don't know, that is not how we're somebody I work with in Tennessee saw it. An analyst I work with, DX Mystery, she saw it on Facebook and it had been published like 28 minutes earlier. I got the call from her at 2:48 p.m. Saying,
The Spanish
"Have you-"
lady?
What's that?
The Spanish lady?
No.
Ryan's
Spanish lady, what do you mean?
completely
No,
lost.
never mind.
Oh no. So she said,
He's completely lost. He has no idea what's being said here.
and I was standing right in front of him. She's like, it's on all over Facebook. They found her. I was like, oh my God. And so I had to tell them, and then we went down there. And then, so I know everybody's saying, oh, they told her, but that's not how it happened. It had been out for 25 minutes. I don't know how they got the contact people numbers of the one they did, but that's not her like blood relatives, and the
That's the
relatives
number
were,
that they had, though. They didn't have
What?
the.
who did they get it from?
I don't know, but that's probably the only contact that they had because that's what they showed. I mean, they were supposed to they were probably supposed to reach out and contact the other people. So when did they actually find the car? Because I heard it was 2 hours later.
Well, so I watched their documentary or whatever today, and if you look on their sonar, it has time on there, and some of the time says 12, like 11, and then there's other that says 3:30. So they obviously filmed. Some of that is just acting. They just filmed it after the fact.
Maybe they were waiting to. But do you look at it? Why don't you look at it like they found it at like around noon, and they contacted people and they waited for everybody to be informed before they did anything. That makes sense to me that they waited. That's what isn't that what you're asking them to wait? And wasn't that what they were doing?
So they put in the thing. When he's on the phone, it says Lori on the screen, Laurie, and I put a statement out that I received from Lori saying she never received a call. So I don't know what to. That's who they said they called, Aunt. Now they edited that out. They edited that out, and they're saying, "Oh, we did that at the request of the family," but they edited it out because the statement came out. So I don't know. I would just wish they would say, "Listen, they did a fantastic thing. They did an amazing thing. She would be a cold case if it was not for Adventures of Purpose."
Yeah,
there's no doubt. But why now the family just feels like now we've got the whole internet turned against us because they think we're ungrateful when that's not the case. They're just like, we never gotten. To this date, they've never heard from them, and law enforcement never got a call. They learned about it on the internet.
Who is blocking all the calls from getting to the law enforcement?
Right.
Listen, I know they have Detective Sonier's phone number. I know they do, because they were in contact with him.
Who the fuck said that the calls to law enforcement were being blocked? What are you talking about? Nobody's blocking anything. What we're saying is they posted on Facebook before they contacted anybody, before they contacted law enforcement, more importantly.
Check with them before he gave them the ping location and everything. I don't know why they didn't call.
See,
But they're
why
also saying,
I'm sorry.
But they're also saying that the guy that found all the stuff at the bottom couldn't get in touch with the law enforcement either.
He couldn't, but he didn't know any. He didn't know any of those people. But that's why he was trying to get a hold of me, and that's why I called Detective Sonier.
Thank you,
He was very. He's like he was calling the non-emergency line, and they were kind of bouncing him around. I told him either I can call Sonier or I suggest just call 911. Don't be afraid to call 911 about that. And they did end up coming out. They were going to it first.
Sorry,
supposedly the tip line wasn't working, right?
The what?
I'm just trying to take advantage of us having somebody who's actually like a PI that was there because we can ask a bunch of questions.
I probably know less than you hope, but
can we look at the timeline again? What we just talked about. So 12 o'clock is when they probably found her, right? And they didn't notify you. Didn't know about it until what? Almost 3.
2:48.
They probably waited a couple hours before they posted online because they probably contacted the family, waited for family to get a hold of law enforcement, all that to happen. They waited 2 hours. It sounds like. I think that's a good amount of time to expect the great aunt. I think it was the great aunt, right? That was supposed to probably contact the family. They had the contact number that they had. They did what they were supposed to. They called the contact number, and they gave them 2 hours before they probably posted anything, right? So why is that? I don't understand how that's wrong. That's 2 hours. It sounds like almost.
If they could show they did that.
Well, you just said the time, so we know there was a time between 12 and then 3, right?
Right, but I don't know that. Listen, they haven't produced anybody. If they could get whatever Lori, they called, I think that would be very helpful if we get a statement from that person.
Okay, I heard. It's been going around that I think it's
now they changed the name to LORI.
Yeah, Tony's dad's sister or something. It would be the great
right.
aunt.
It's a very distant step relative. Here's the thing. The volunteer the trailer where all the volunteers checked in and you picked up water and all the maps right and everything was right at the entrance of the process. The family was living there in a trailer. There was family there 24/7. It's very easy to get the number. The number was posted on the side of the trailer. So I don't know.
Yeah, but they went by the number that they had because he did explain the difference between Lori and Lori.
How did they get the number? One of them was in Chicago.
Does this name ring a bell to anybody? Viridiana Medina.
I haven't heard that one.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Who is it?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Steve, can I ask if the family made any attempt to get a hold of AWP when they got there, when they arrived?
No, because they only knew through social media. Like, first of all, keep in mind, this is a family that is brand new to this. Like, people like us are around this a lot and have heard these names and stuff like that. They have no idea. People are trying to get EquiSearch and everything out there. They're hearing all these names. So they don't have any contact with AWP, and they only hear what people are saying online. When they're going to be arriving. What just
happened there? What Ryan's doing right now? Somebody did the digging that Cherry did. So somebody did the digging that Cherry did for Ryan here, and he was just discussing, and he's getting to the bottom. That's why he was like, "I'll tell you later," because it's a different subject. It's the Ronnie thing, the Ronnie Jones thing. And that's Ronnie's wife, who he just asked, like, does that name ring a bell to anybody? But he's trying to tie that shit in with the crime that never took place. All it does is show that Ronnie lied on what's her face's channel.
And they said, I think they changed their timeline to Thursday, but then they like broke an axle or something. Then they were coming Friday. Nobody knew exactly, you know, when they were going to be there. So,
But they were
Right.
excited. I mean, they were hopeful. They wanted them
um,
to help.
they, you know, the only conversation I had with them before was they asked me if AWP was legit. That's all they asked.
So can I
But
ask how you came to be involved and became their private investigator?
I'm not their private investigator. I'm not retained by them. I work a lot of these cases on a pro bono basis. I just fly around and I do it on a volunteer basis. I went up there. I was just as a searcher. I was just going through the woods and around Prosser and everything, and I got to know the family simply by going to the volunteer trailer. They were there all the time. You know,
Yes, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Xana May?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Xana May is?
I don't think so.
There's no reason why he should know who that is.
I was searching for Kylie. Yeah, I mean, but
So you don't know
I
about this anime girl?
No.
You never seen her?
Well, who is she? And then maybe I'll like.
She's the lady that was canoeing over where the car was found.
Oh, I definitely on a couple days that I was out there searching, there was definitely people in
Poor
canoes.
Steve is like, I have no idea what the fuck this lunatic is talking about.
Out there. I mean, there's a lot of people in canoes out there, and on paddle boards.
Which also plays into part of the time
a lot of
difference
people.
In the video the AWP produced.
Because it's a
because
place
they
where
were
a
trying
lot
to
of
be
people go
discreet,
out
and they made that very
and
clear in the
they
video.
canoe and they paddleboard. That's what people do because Anime said so on this channel because it's a really pretty spot.
Yeah, that they were trying to be discreet and not cause.
It's a national, it's a
attention.
public park.
Do you know Ronnie Jones, the Ronnie Jones character?
No, I mean, I've heard that name just from going around the internet, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, I honestly I don't even have I had to set up.
But you know, Xana is the only other person who physically with her mouth said she was at the party, right?
She did not say she was
No,
at
I
the
don't know
party.
that.
Well, you better investigate that.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I mean, you know, law enforcement.
Yeah, Steve. She didn't say she was at the party. Just so you know, buddy.
Investigating it, you know, it's like I'm just telling you. Like I was just asked. Somebody asked me to come on here and just tell what I know, just as somebody that was there at and somebody's been in contact with the family and law enforcement after the fact. But I don't, you know, I'm not. I mean, obviously, just as a person, I come to conclusions and I have you know, thoughts about it. But I just don't see. I absolutely thought it was foul play at the beginning. I just can't find anything to make that stick.
We all did.
What about the parents?
Yeah,
I mean, does
we all did.
her dad think there's foul play, or does he think it's an accident? You know,
So I don't want to speak on their behalf. I know that they want every possibility looked into. And I'm the same way. Listen, if somebody did this, then they need to spend the rest of their life in a cell. And I mean that. Like
that video that you're in on AWP. Who was the guy that was standing in the group? Because I can't tell. But who was the guy standing up there that was like, was she in the back before they said anything about her being in the back? Who was the guy that asked, was she in the back?
Oh, so I'm pretty sure that's probably the grandfather because I say, was she seatbelted in? And they go, no. And then he goes, was she in the back? You know,
that's a weird statement.
I don't think it is. I mean,
just because you don't have your seatbelt on, don't mean you're like shoved all the way in the back hatch. That's kind of weird. It's either you're kind of wearing your seatbelt or you're not.
so where do you know if they found her phone?
the last I've heard, the phone has not been found.
What if the phone was
Listen to this. That means it's not. I don't mean to say it like that, but we were just talking about this. So if it's not in the car and it's not where the car was,
Yeah.
doesn't that look suspicious? That
Yeah,
was
so
rid of somewhere different?
It does. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Now, I will say, and I don't know if this is out. I mean, I put it on my Twitter this morning, but I'm not the greatest at keeping up with stuff. You know, I was contacted last night that there was not law enforcement divers, private divers with tanks that went down last night, and I think this morning, and they said that they were closer to like where the car really was resting, not where stuff might have been dumped out when they rolled it underwater. And they said that they retrieved a significant amount of other items. I don't know if that includes the phone. They haven't told me. But
I heard, well, if it was today, I did hear what it was. And I don't think it was the phone. I'm
No,
not
I
sure
agree
if
with
it's
that, Dick.
specific.
No, you're probably right.
I agree with
Apple
that.
products.
So that's
All this text
suspicious.
messaging could have been from a laptop. And I'll say this, man, dude, I watch a lot of murder shows and all that stuff, and I'm friends with a lot of cops. Man, dude, criminals in Nashville are way slicker than criminals down there. Criminals down there are kind of fucking stupid.
Well,
Criminals here get away with everything.
Yeah, I mean that's the conversation that I actually had with the father and the grandfather, and they're like, like, are they intelligent enough to pull something like this off? You know, like it would be the scenario. I definitely, like I said, I'm not ruling out that somebody saw it happen.
Wait a minute. Y'all was talking about how slick criminals are? That's weird.
Okay. But I haven't ruled out, you know, somebody being in the car or the car could have gotten bumped and then somebody made a dumb decision and they panicked and left, you know, but that's still accidental. When I say foul play, I'm talking about a purposeful act, like
Yeah, I
you
see.
know, like a murder,
But
so
what if it was like an accidental OD or something? The kids freaked out, so they're trying to like, oh, what do we do? And then what if that really
Yeah.
was them the next day, and they're trying to cover it up?
Because they're panicking.
Yeah, because they're panicking. They don't know what to do. They're kids, so they're not going to be the smartest. And that goes with what you said, Mom, before. They're not the smartest, so they stay close because they're like, we got to get rid of the car. They don't know what to do. So to me, being kids, panic, being up all night, they probably haven't slept. They were partying all night.
Yeah.
They aren't going to make the best decision. So them being at Boca is probably them trying to get out of the area, and try to figure out what they wanted to do if it's them. I just think.
But yet they outsmarted all the cops and the FBI and and they they're basically saying that it was an accident. Now I don't know that they haven't said it was an accident yet. They haven't officially, but everything is leaning that way. Everything that we have made available to us is saying that this is an accident. Like everything.
You're just, where's the phone at? That's just
like this lady, the mom makes this statement and releases it, and it's just full of just love, right? It's a very peaceful, very kind statement directed to everybody, right? And and this girl sits there confused out of her mind going, I don't understand. Like, why? We're trying to find out what happened to her because she doesn't need you. She just said, we got this. She doesn't need you to find out what happened. She said, we got this. Like, she said, call your mom. Basically, find something better to do. Call your mom.
that's suspicious to me. Maybe they'll end up finding it, but if they don't find it in that area and it's not in the car, then where the heck is that phone? Because it would have been on her. And if it was an accident, it would be there. So I don't like that.
The fact that when that laptop was recovered, the fact that well, I know that Nevada County actually contracts to Placer County's dive team. The fact that they didn't have that dive team in the water at 6 at sunrise the next morning, scouring the bottom, is just infuriating to me. The fact that there was another set of private divers last night in the water and this morning infuriates me. Not that they were in there doing that. It infuriates me that law enforcement is not back out there and just looked for everything, including the phone. Because to be honest, we assumed they wouldn't tell us if they had Kylie's phone when they recovered the vehicle, but we assumed that they probably did because we didn't hear anything about it. And then we find out. Then the guy finds the laptop, and the detectives say, "Hey, by chance, did you see the phone down there?" And we're like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
He said that. Okay, wow. But you said that. So now
they asked him if he could go dive again and see if he could find the phone.
Bro.
Like, well, yeah. So why don't they have the divers out there?
Because
I don't know
what he's
who,
trying to give them ain't worth a shit. Obviously.
Thank you, Mind to Bear. I don't know who Taylor Lawrence is though.
So
you ever seen somebody cry over finding a laptop? I haven't.
Well, I know that they've accessed. I know that they've, because of iCloud and stuff, they've already got a lot of it. But still, they need, first of all, even let's say that they already cloned the phone off of iCloud, it still doesn't need to be in the lake for somebody to find and be selling to a tabloid or put on eBay or something.
No, maybe it's fake. Maybe it's not a real piece of evidence.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it's not, they still, just out of respect, because they did roll that car and they told us they were going to do it underwater, and obviously that's when the stuff came out, and they should have gone and got it because of that.
They should have sealed the windows.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Steve, can you verify who was the last person to have their hands on the evidence that was found by the private divers? Like, did that go straight into law enforcement's hands, or because there's a lot of confusion around that?
So the guy, the private diver, and I'm only talking about the laptop. I don't know what the people from last night. I don't know how that went, but he did give the laptop to the grandfather and said, this is your decision, and so it did go, and then the grandfather gave it to law enforcement.
Can't give it to dad?
What's that?
Why did they give it to dad?
The grandfather. They're just like, here, because the thing is, it wasn't a crime scene anymore. So they weren't even going to send anybody out. At first, they said, we're not going to send anybody out. And then they called back later and changed their mind and said they were sending somebody out. But at that point, it's just lost property.
Where do you think Angelina Muzalam went?
I have no idea.
Wait, why weren't they treating this like an investigation?
Yeah, gross.
You mean as like when they found the laptop and stuff?
Anybody who's an Amber Heard supporter can suck it.
Yeah, or even before that.
Yeah, well, before that, I was hoping that they, they've been, they've been dead silent. Besides making the comment, after I gave them that lead, they got emailed to me about homicide. They kind of like hinted, or didn't kind of, they kind of gave it away that the FBI really doesn't have an active investigation open anymore. And then when the officers that came out to retrieve it, they said their investigation is complete. They're just waiting on CHP to complete theirs. That was only like one still like that wasn't completed. So that kind of like is a big tell, that which way it's going.
Do you know if they got the autopsy yet?
I think that they publicly announced that they do have the autopsy complete pending, except for the tox results. But the autopsy report is done, but it's pending toxicology.
Steve, is there any truth to the fact that there were law enforcement officers' kids at the party, or like any law enforcement or chief? Is that a big thing going on?
So I mean, I hear that, and just to be honest, just mathematically, with that size party, I think it would be really hard for there not to be. So I imagine there was. I don't know who those were though. I mean, I will say that like those one thing I was really like set back probably was when those team-to-team meetings. Those like when somebody was like, hey, come talk to me. And I actually tweeted it. That's before I got there. And I actually tweeted at Placer County saying, how the hell does this happen? How are you letting somebody direct
that's
somebody that's not qualified?
Okay.
And they replied back, well, it was a public place and she brought her own microphone, which I didn't realize. And but then those team meetings, like after they announced whatever they'll announce.
Mind a Bear, thank you again. Taylor Lawrence is connected to Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. She's notoriously known for canceling people with a mass following. Psycho Bab contacted her. Oh, okay. Ew. Gross.
They'll announce when the case is closing. Like I can disclose more on that, but those team-to-team meetings might have actually been a help. I think a lot of information actually was gathered through those.
But wait, if it was an accident, then what information was there to gather though?
Well, so that was, I mean, they could rule things out. You know what I mean? Like in other words,
ain't that the truth?
Saying, I think you can also just by the fact that everybody's story, nothing really conflicts. I think the one thing, and nobody's told me this. It's just, when CHP, I know people were asking about the box that they set up, kind of like they taped off the crime scene area, like in the form of a square, kind of close to the water, when they were pulling the car out, and they had set up a row of cones as well, like a driving pattern down the beach, which wasn't shown by the helicopter shot. So it was clear that they were doing very specific measurements. And I actually put a photo of it on my Twitter yesterday, I think, where, from behind, took a shot from behind it so you can see kind of the swerve patterns. And the only thing that I can figure is that they had some sort of information that somebody said, we did see cars driving down the beach, because they seemed to have very specific measurements they were doing. Like they had some sort of information to work off of.
Like that was
Ryan went and put his thinking cap on, guys.
the direction she entered from.
Like possibly somebody said, well, I did see 3 or 4 sets of headlights driving down along the sand. And so I looked at the water levels. Since the day she went missing to the day the car was found, it's dropped exactly 3.5 feet, and which works out 3.5 feet of surface area, above ground level. So you look at those cones,
I know, Lisa. I know
they're marked almost as if they're 3. If you imagine the water level was up another 3.5 feet, it's very close to where the cones are. So it looks like they think. To me, it looks like they think possibly she was driving along the water, and then that square that they set up where they taped off, I think is what they think is like an inflection point where the car started to roll, possibly.
Huh. I have a question. How do you think she got back there and the cargo strap was left out of the trunk?
The cargo stop. Wait, I mean,
the strap.
Oh, the strap. Yeah. So we know that her car was used to like bring some alcohol up to the party, and so I think people were, opening the hatch probably. That could be one. As far as her getting to the back, it's really. I've looked into it quite a bit. I mean, keep in mind, so the car's going to sink. It's going to, engine, weight. It's going to go nose down. Water levels blowing.
Y'all are funny, man.
When she's deceased, she's initially going to sink, and then in the car, and then the gases build up in the body, and then just like bodies do after 24 to 36 hours in water, they bloat and they float to the highest level. And
wait. So it wouldn't be nosedive though for that long, though, would it? Wouldn't it eventually have flattened out before 24?
So it was kind of like so it was engine down and kind of like at a 45-degree angle. It's really hard to. It was like, so imagine a slope. You got the slope, and then it went engine down, but it was kind of resting on its side a little bit.
It was that steep, like as it was found. It was that much.
So it was only from on the sonar. If you look, it was only like 8 feet under. The highest part of the car was only like 8 feet underwater. And it was like 14 to 16 feet at the lowest end. So it was on a pretty good incline.
Don't you think that's weird that they missed that though? Like, how did the divers? How did
Yeah,
three dive
no,
teams miss that?
I have no clue. It's botched. I mean, I have no clue.
Do you know when the dive team searched? Was it the day
Yeah, no, we like Tug here. That's not okay. We like Tug here. But I don't think that hurt him. I don't think it hurt him at all. Tug's channel blew up after that trial, man. During that trial.
after? How long did they search after?
So
Across
I know that the afternoon, so Saturday, this would be Saturday, and the next day, I know that they did pretty extensive helicopter sweeps. They had boats in the water. When I was there, I saw the boats in the water, I'd say every other day. When I say boats, it's one boat, like 3 people on it, and they were searching that area, and that's where all the drone footage I shot was always right over that point, because they told me that's where the ping was. I don't know how they missed it. I mean, when we arrived there and the buoy, we were like, she's right there. Like, I mean, literally like right there. I mean, it's closer than it even appears in the video and stuff. I mean, that buoy was like, it's right there. I mean, it's shocking. I don't
Doesn't
know.
that make you think
There's
maybe
no
it was put in after they searched? Because you said they searched. Okay, they searched the water the couple days after. That's it.
No, I think they searched it many times. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how they missed it many times.
like even like a week after, were they in that water? Then
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were in the water the day before Adventure of the Purpose got there. I saw them there.
Steve, when did you shoot your drone footage above Prosser where her car was?
That was shot. So she went missing on the Saturday. That was shot starting the next Saturday until the following Sunday when she was found. So in between that week.
So didn't you post I think on Twitter that people saw her vehicle from your drone and you said you think we were right? If I had looked at that, I do agree. It does look like it is her car.
So what I did is I shot all that drone footage, but I didn't have time to like scan it really. So what I did is I just said, I'm going to upload it all to it. I'll anything, natural. I just think so the way CHP set it up.
When it went in the water backward.
Heard all this stuff about the sweater. She needed the sweater. She wanted the sweater. It's because it was cold out there. So how would she be driving
out there?
Why would she drive the windows down? So, yeah.
Zav, you kept throw a theory out there and see what everybody thinks?
No, go ahead.
What if, because the airspace is the inside of the CRV, what if the CRV went in the water backwards and then the left front window, that's the driver window, was busted out? When it hit the water, it went and then it flipped and landed exactly how AWP filmed it on the internet.
I think there's a very good chance it went in backwards. And if you look at the way CHP set it up, I think that's a real possibility. The driver's window, because I did see footage of it that they shot underwater, the driver's window was not busted. The passenger's side was down or busted for sure, and the back driver's side. But the driver's window itself was definitely broken when they rolled it underwater, because there's footage of that and it's intact. However, I agree. I think there's probably 80% chance that car went in the water backwards.
So wait,
if it was dumped off a tow truck?
No,
sorry, if it was an accident, how would it gone?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Because like if
he's actually not talking enough to entertain me here. He's he's actually listening to Steve, which I'll give him credit for. He's actually listening and absorbing some information, maybe in his own way, and he's probably not absorbing much, but he's trying to. I'll give him that much credit.
It's like if she's driving. So the way that thing comes to a point, it's kind of like that peninsula, or whatever you want to call it, comes to a point there. So if she's driving on the beach and then she at the last second sees, oh shit, there's water, and tries to make this sharp left turn against this hill that's descending, then the car is going to roll over. And that's exactly how CHP was setting it up. If you look on my Twitter, the way that the spur patterns were, and then they put crime scene tape in a square. It's like she tried to turn up the hill and then the car rolls backwards and kind of slides backwards into the water.
But
if the car rolled, wouldn't there be more damage to the car if it rolled?
Not even the mirror was broken before it went in.
What?
The mirror wasn't broken before it went in either. The driver's side, I think it was the driver's side mirror. That was not broken when it went in.
No, but I mean,
on the turn or something.
Look how they pulled it out though. You see what I'm saying? If it went in backwards and the window was busted out, airspace, anybody knows about audio knows about airspace. Airspace, if the window's busted out and the other ones are up a little in the back, and if in fact the other one was up in the front, that would be sucking the water in and the air out. So as it's going in, it would have flipped over and turned around and set down. And if police, like everybody's saying, flipped it over once and pulled it out, then it looks like it got drove in.
Yeah. To me, it looks like it was driven in straight.
Mm-hmm.
And because they wouldn't have turned it around. I just feel like it went in straight, and that's why they backed it out, because the rear end was, the car was facing away from the shore. So
like the theory of it backing in though, if it landed though, what I'm saying is if it went in backwards in theory, and it would have turned at 180 and flipped over because of airspace. So then if AWP would have just pulled it out like they do, you would have seen, oh, wait a minute, this is exactly how it went in. But that's not what happened. They said, no, we'll get it out. And they flipped it over, broke the damn window or whatever, pulled it out. Then they're like, oh, well, she must have drove in. It's like, no, you didn't let AWP pull it out.
Well, they can let AWP pull it out because they're not trained forensics and there's a dead body in there. That was not.
But all of their cases are dead bodies.
Yeah, all the
No,
ones
no,
they
but let's be honest.
They messed up the crime
deal
scene.
with
The police did.
they deal with skeletalized bodies. They don't deal with bodies that were still intact, and she was still intact. You know.
Yeah,
And
but
FBI
that's what
was-
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but
Like
they didn't
them
even cover
flipping it
the-
over, could have destroyed her body even more if she was in the water for a long time. Or
I know.
anybody that knows or has seen a dead body before knows that.
Mhm.
Oh, I watched the police take a body out of the water once. It was falling apart.
Mhm. Yeah.
So why did they roll the car and be like, "Fuck it, who cares? We're gonna roll the car."
because
over
they
there."
originally they were going to pull the car up on its hood to the shoreline and then take her out, and then they were just afraid that would the medical examiner wanted to have done it a different way because exactly that, pulling a body out could, and you get skin sloughing from the water, you know, and
they should have just
But
let
when
AWP do it. Then the body wouldn't have moved. You know.
Yeah.
AWP didn't have a crane or anything there. I don't know how they would have done
Oh, they can
They
call
have
one.
access to it.
Oh yeah.
it. Okay.
What?
What do you think about that?
So
When they flip the
From a private
car,
investigator standpoint.
when
No,
they,
I would definitely not let the AWP deal
No,
with it.
that's okay. No, man, that's not what you do. Okay. The only time that I've ever seen AWP pull a car out that had a body in it was when they didn't know that a body was in it. Okay. And then once they saw that there was a body in it, after they pulled it out, they were like, call the authorities. Right. So there's no way that AWP, and it's ludicrous, it's asinine to suggest that they should have been the ones to pull out the evidence. They found the evidence. What they should have done is what they've done. Now it's questionable if they did it in a timely manner or not. I don't know. There's what he's saying, and then there's what they're saying. I'm saying what they do is what their job was done. Once they found the car, it's call the authorities, and then it's up to law enforcement to pull the evidence out and not damage the evidence in the process. That's it. Because there's something called chain of custody when it comes to the evidence. Now, they could have easily damaged. Now, let's say there was foul play. All right. Let's say, for instance, folks, that there was foul play involved. What would have happened if AWP would have pulled that out? That person who they end up arresting for the crime in a court of law, their defense attorney would have argued that and been like, well, why did AWP pull out the car? I mean, they're not trained investigators. Why did they tamper with that evidence, and why were they allowed to? That right there, I mean, all of this evidence is tainted. All of this evidence against my client is tainted, as far as I'm concerned. The chain of custody is completely tainted. And that's all it would take. You know, I mean, that would lose the case. That would get the case dismissed. So AWP, I would assume, knows better. You know, that's why they were like, call the authorities. When the dude came out of the water, Nick, I think his name was, comes out of the water, he says, call the authorities. You know?
You deal with the deceased body.
What if she
I mean,
would have fallen out the window, like when they flipped her? Like they didn't cover up the windows, so they weren't so concerned about preserving the body. What if she would have fell out like all the other stuff?
I mean, just that's my opinion. I'm just saying I don't think.
No, I'm not. I know. I'm just saying like that doesn't. I'm just disappointed how they did that. They
Yeah,
didn't
I don't
cover up the
understand.
windows. They could have like she could have just.
if
Yeah.
she was laying on top of the roof, because that's the way, unless she
Hmm.
is strapped down, she's laying on top of the roof. They flipped that car under the water,
Mm.
and nothing is preserved anymore. Her whole body just went from the top of the car back down to the bottom of the car.
Mm.
Well, I
I mean,
mean,
go back to law enforcement school. Damn.
okay. Well, I got to run, you guys.
Well, I wasn't talking to you. You're not a cop. What are you talking about?
No, I know, no, but I just do that. It's been a long day, but yeah. So I mean, that's basically all I know. You know.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask about that driver's side window again. Did that
Yeah.
ever come up? Because that is, to me, that no one's talking about it. And I've been saying it for weeks. Like, why is no one mentioning how that windshield is cracked?
You know, to be honest with you, you're talking about the circular pattern, right? I'll have to look.
Yeah.
I've not heard about that.
You know, it definitely shows that it's cracked, and I don't see why that would have happened in flipping it. I mean, maybe, but
Well, that could. I mean, if you know, I mean,
it just looks like something. Maybe she went in as she went in. Maybe she hit it. Unfortunately, no
I mean, if
seatbelt.
she
We
wasn't
know that.
seatbelted, she definitely could.
Yeah.
Although I think if it was that type of impact, it would have been an airbag deployment. And as far as I know, there's no airbag deployment.
Well, I'm saying maybe she went up over the hill. It caused her to fly up into that windshield,
Mm.
and then her car came down into the water. That's what I envisioned when I saw that crack in the windshield. I was like, oh my god, it's literally right above the steering wheel.
Sav, do you have that picture?
No, but I was gonna play. I am gonna play
Yeah.
the video of them
Okay.
pulling it out and see if
Yeah.
we can see. I know I seen it
Oh,
from the
yeah.
side view, and it does look like it's kind of like
It definitely is.
pushed out a little bit, but I don't know what that means. I guess
Well,
she could have.
oh,
I
If-
don't
if-
remember.
if
I'm
there's a
not
mark in the
saying it,
windshield.
I'm not
and I-
saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I don't remember seeing the windshield being cracked. Maybe it was, but I don't remember that.
to be an impact big enough to make an airbag come out. If the airbag didn't come
No.
out, somebody punched the window, made it cracked, and no airbag came out because it was put in the water on purpose.
No, not necessarily. She could have went up over that hill fast. You know, she did have an all-wheel drive. She could have flew into the windshield, nothing hitting the front of her car. That would not have sent off airbags if her head hit
And
the windshield.
everybody in Northern California drives 4-wheel drive, by the way. It's safe to assume that what she was driving is 4-wheel drive.
I mean,
All
in a way, I
know
hope
is
she was
I-
unconscious.
I
I hope
orchest-
she
I
was
orchestrated.
unconscious.
All I know is I've been to over 100 mud parks. I'm very trained in rock climbing and trail riding with Can-Ams. And I'm telling you right now, her car did not go down that hill, up that other hill, and in the water. There is no
There's
way.
no other
possible.
hill. I'm talking about the one hill and then fly off that. Right, the water's right there.
There would be debris from her car, though.
No, there wouldn't.
Yes, there would. You want me to go roll a CRV down the hill and
I'm
show
not
you?
talking about rolling. I'm talking about she's driving fast, trying to
It
get out.
depends
She's drunk,
on, dude,
or,
what do you
has been
what do you
drinking.
mean? First of all, how do you know there wasn't debris in the car? Second of all, it depends on the terrain. It depends on your environment that you're driving in, whether there'd be debris in the car or not. Now, yeah, if you're driving through a trail in Tennessee, yeah, there's more likely going to be some sort of debris that gets into the car if the windows are down. Sure. People love to fucking go mudding in their Jeeps around here. It's just the thing to do. But you can't sit here and compare Tennessee to Northern California. Very, very, very different. Very different.
It's dark. She hits that hill at a fast speed, goes up over it and down right into the water. There's no damage to her car.
Yeah,
But
I'm sorry.
if the terrain is as rough as everyone says it is there, it's if she's driving as fast as you think she's driving,
It's
it
not,
would be damaged
though.
before she got to that hill.
I'm saying like as she got down and then up over that hill. I don't think it would have caused, especially in an all-wheel drive. I mean, those other cars, they weren't all-wheel drive.
Yeah, but you're talking
She
about
could've
you
got
have to
through
look
there
at
a lot easier.
it. Don't you can have an all-wheel drive anything. If the shocks and the clearance on the wheel to fender ratio doesn't add up, then it's not going to make it. That's why the biggest thing on 4-wheel drives is when you want a vehicle that goes somewhere, you need at least 4 foot of clearance, which is what a Can-Am has.
Well, I hope to God she didn't hit the windshield. She was knocked unconscious the whole time and had no idea what was happening to her.
Steve,
Yeah, I, whatever the term says, I hope that she didn't.
I just find it very odd that no one's mentioning that windshield. Not even AWP mentioned it. And I wanted to ask something around, but I didn't get a chance. So
Well, I'll bring up the video and see if we could see. I don't know. I
Ask
didn't
them
get to
what?
spit, like what's
Oh,
out.
no.
What do you want to
mentioning-
answer from? What do you want to answer?
why no one's mentioning the cracked windshield above her the steering wheel?
Cracked windshields.
I'm gonna run to bed, but
Okay.
I appreciate me on.
Yeah.
I
thanks for coming on,
mean,
Anthony.
the cracked windshield, if she was driving fast, could have been, and if there was a car in front of her, it could have kicked up a rock that hit the windshield. People's windshields get cracked like that all the time. As a matter of fact, I would argue to say that that's probably the most common way that windshields get cracked. So yeah.
Coming on answering questions.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Roswell, baby, wait, what are you talking about? I never made AWP leave. I was so happy to have them on. Doug was great. Jared was great. Huh. I think you got some wrong information, Roswell.
I think she
Um,
was talking about the crime scene where they were making.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. You're right. I misunderstood it. That is probably what she's talking about because they let him stay. But that is weird. Did they make, well, I don't even know if they
They did not. I mean, he made it very clear that they did not want AWP doing any of it.
Yeah. So what did you guys think? Did you guys
I think SF investigates and listen, nothing I say falls on Sav. Sav disagrees with me all the time. It's okay. She's allowed to. She's her own woman. I think SF investigates is full of shit.
Yeah, I think there would be tracks if the car went in like he was saying it could have. There would have been a track to the water.
Right. Or
Would
glass
have
or
been
something.
Something, yeah, parts of
He
the car.
did. Keep in mind, ladies, he also said, and I can show you because I record everything that I go on, and I will clip it out gladly and put it up for y'all. Did y'all not hear him say that him, the dad, and the grandpa were joking about how not slick the criminals were?
Yeah. But
yeah,
how does
I
he
would
even have
rewind that and listen. Yeah,
jurisdiction? How does he even have jurisdiction in California?
he doesn't. I just got sent some information. His license expired. He doesn't. But
Yeah,
he
he
did,
wasn't working as the PI.
he
though.
did say he
That's-
wasn't working, but
I thought he was paid by the family.
So
Nope,
what's
he
your
specifically
Still
said
talking
thought?
right
no.
now.
He said no. He said that he was not retained by the family. That's what his words were.
Right. Exactly. He never said that anybody he volunteered. The guy lives in California and he offered to volunteer and help with the search. A lot of people did that. So I don't get, he's an experienced PI, whether he's licensed or not. You know what I mean? Like, he's an experienced PI and he tried to do something nice. No different than anybody else, defending AWP when anybody criticizes them. I mean, that's it.
I'm gonna go get some water real quick. I'll be right back. It's all right.
Me
Good,
too.
all right. All right. And I do got a couple people backstage. Well, hold on. I'll be back. You guys are gonna be all right chatting?
I'll
Well,
hop
I'm
on
just
that.
unsure of how he's involved in the case then, if if the family didn't pay him.
I don't know. I
with you
think
on
he
that
was just there. Is he from California? Maybe.
I
No,
know
he said he
my
goes all
God.
over.
Oh
be
my
right back.
God. Yes, he's from California. Missing girl. Everybody's talking about it. So he volunteered to help because he's an experienced investigator.
I
And he
don't
just
know.
went to help search and met the family on the
Yeah,
scene.
that's what he said. Yep.
Interesting.
What's so interesting about it? Like, why
I don't
is
know.
that?
There's still a lot of things that just
Everything's such a
No, nothing adds up. Honestly,
people
nothing
like
does.
this, man.
And I'm not saying that. Don't you-
Everything is a Scooby-Doo moment, bro. Like, curious. BC, thank you. If you wrestle with pigs, you get dirty, and pigs like it. SF is totally regretting going on that panel of ignorance. Oh, I know for a fact he is. I know for a fact he is. Everything is, everything's a Sherlock Holmes moment, dude. You know, these internet sleuths. If his license expired and if his license expired and the family did not retain his service, what was he doing there? Curious.
Tow truck guy could, is wrong or lying or she didn't go in backwards.
That's the only
I'm
thing.
just saying, like,
The only thing these panels are good for, bro, is like listening to everybody fucking brainstorm like madness.
that's what my gut's telling me is that's what
Well,
happened.
I wanted to ask him about because he said that it was AAA.
Oh,
So
shoot,
who
yep.
has the AAA membership?
Yes, because that's what I'm
Because
about.
they can call and say who made the call, what number.
Right.
Oh, you're so right.
And when Sav asked Doug that from AWP the other day, it didn't get answered the way like it should have. She was asking, was there a call to AAA or was there an automatic ping from the car? Because we've heard both.
But we
Sav
looked
was
into
asking
the
for
ping earlier.
clarification if someone made a call or
It's
if it was
not
an automatic
confirmed
ping,
it was
but he said he
AAA.
couldn't. I don't think he understood that. Like he missed that part, I think, and answered it a different way and said he couldn't answer it. But we were just asking, was it a call from a cell phone or was it a ping from the car? Something the car sent off to this company and they knew they needed help. Because I've heard it both ways.
And
I don't know.
2013 is not equipped with that. You have to have an app on your phone for that to work.
Yeah, I definitely think they called in. Definitely.
Someone definitely called in, but whoever has that AAA membership would be able to check to see
Right.
if they made the call. And
I think.
goes
Sorry.
back, why would she call AAA 10 minutes from her house?
I think it's weird too that it was a van and he called him the emergency roadside assistant program. You don't call it a program.
No, there's a dispatch center. Which all of that.
Thank you, Diggs. Let's see. I'm a casualty of his blocking spree last night. Not sure why, but SF has an active license in Alabama. Okay. You're saying he blocked you? I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of don't blame him. Like, because I put out a thank you tweet to this guy, you know? I put out a thank you tweet and just a bunch of Karens just attacked the tweet, you know? So like people come at this guy left and right. Now, I don't know if it's justified or it's not. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know his backstory. I don't know. All I was interested in by having him on this channel was his insight based on his experience while he was in California, while he was in Truckee. Because he's a licensed or he's a trained investigator. I'm not going to say he's licensed or whatever. Okay, but you're saying that he does have an active license in Alabama. Okay. Thank you, Diggs. But yeah, I mean, he might have just misinterpreted he might have misinterpreted your comment or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. But that dude's got people attacking him left and right. Again, don't know if it's justified or not, but I know that some of the people that I interacted with that were attacking him were fucking straight morons. Like two ladies in particular. One of them claims to be a biologist. And I was just like, dude, you're not making any sense. And they immediately went to misogyny. They were like, oh, insulting a woman's intelligence, that's where you go. And I was like, dude, I didn't even bring up man or woman. You all did. The fuck are you talking about? And let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, if you say something completely stupid and you completely ignore clear logic, because you are set in your own stupidity, Ryan Upchurch style, well, then guess what? Man or woman, I'm going to call you an idiot. Sorry. You know? Chasing Truth, thank you. Guess who doesn't have any license or experience? All the people on that panel. Good point. Thank you very much for that.
All of that's verified. There's no way around that being verified.
And then did you hear someone said he's like an EMT or something? I don't know.
This fool just chewing on, like, man.
No, so he did an interview earlier. Did anybody see that?
No, we heard a bit about it though.
Okay, so he did an interview on Glare, I think's YouTube channel, and I feel like he came on here to do damage control about the whole Jagger statement, because he just straight let it out that AWP confirmed that it was Jagger or whatever.
No,
and
that's
that
not
his
what he
dad
did.
example
That's not
asked
what he
him, like,
said.
if there's anybody that you suspected, who would you suspect? And SF said Sammy and Jagger. So I wanted somebody to ask him why he said that.
Right. He said that if there was foul play involved, those are the two people that he would look into. That's what he said. But that doesn't mean that he thinks that they did anything, because he was abundantly clear saying that he thinks that it was just an accident. It was just an accident. He feels that it was. So what the fuck are you talking about, lady? See, this is what happens on drama channels. Drama channels that are trying to be true crime.
This up.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Gotta have Sav pull that video up.
Yeah, I was trying to tell her earlier before
Hey,
we got
Ryan,
on.
have your
and
pen
he
ready
joined.
to write that
Yeah.
down.
And supposedly,
Oh, I hope
Carrie,
they
she's
pull it
leading
up.
the chat. She has something about the phone.
I really hope they pull it up, because I'm really curious to see how they're going to misinterpret it. Because I see a bunch of people, especially Upchurch, who's going to just hear what he wants to hear. He's going to interpret something that's going to feed his narrative. That's what he's going to do.
I will actually hang up so that she can come in. I know Sav will have to probably let her, but
Steve Fisher is paid on an EBT card.
Oh my God, I got 666 people in this chat right now. People, you guys are the devil.
oh jeez.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, since he's not an investigator, we should ask him what his job was.
He's a fashion photographer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Brian, you had me
word.
cracking up.
I had to go on mute so many times just watching your face expressions.
Right?
Oh my
Bro,
God.
yeah, I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, I know I look like a crazy person, but in real life, like when someone's
You
talking,
sound
and I'm
like
watching
one
them,
too.
I'm like a full blown computer. I'm just sitting there watching them.
That is
No,
why my
no.
camera is off, because my face is off.
I should
No.
probably start putting my-
You're a computer that, like, let's say my phone is a computer, and if Ryan Upchurch is my phone, you know, this is what I'm doing to my phone all the time. Like, wait, what? That can't be right. Is my computer really saying this? What? And then I'm going to go take it and try to get it repaired, because there's no way that my phone could be this stupid.
start turning mine off.
Southern thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I not want my face to be shown right now. Look at a mess.
So what do y'all think, ladies?
I'm sticking with my theory.
Oh, I think it's total cover up for sure.
I still think
Okay.
accident.
I think foul play.
It's going to be a lot to convince me that it's an accident.
But I think they're going to say it's an accident.
Yeah, I think they might, but we might
You
not
mean
put
all the
pressure on them.
evidence that you
Well,
don't
what's weird
have?
But
to me
AWP
is
has
that in
no proof.
Nevada, the place where the Nevada County Sheriff, whatever it is, that's doing her autopsy on duty around the other day, that medical examiner said, in where her body is, the coroner and the sheriff are the same person.
Yeah, what?
Jesus.
Well, that seems like
So
a conflict
if
of
it's-
interest right there.
So if it say it were law enforcement kids involved or whatever, just speculation, then she was saying, well, where does his loyalty lie? So
Yeah, that's
that's a little weird. But
Dude, I don't want to die in that fucking town. Jesus Christ.
right?
I mean, I agree with him
someone
there,
said your
dude.
IGDM, 'cause they-
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I agree with his statement there. Like, please don't let me die in Truckee. Please don't, because that's like, there's definitely some mistakes that were clearly made by law enforcement in this whole situation, and but again, that doesn't mean that foul play took place. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. There needs to be evidence collected in order to get a conviction. And people are only going to arrest that law enforcement's only going to arrest somebody if they truly believe, if they believe that they can convict somebody beyond a reasonable doubt in court. That's the only way they're ever going to arrest somebody.
I'm from Big Al.
What'd you say, Tammy?
Someone said to check your Instagram DM.
Oh shit, they're gonna have to be more specific.
Okay, so from Big Al or Big AI, I don't know.
Good night, Chrissy Nixon.
I don't know if I want to click something that says big AI, it's big artificial intelligence.
I don't blame you, but if there's no link, I think
I
it's fine.
see him. Oh yeah, they said
She's
how the hell
going
can
to-
Steve fly around and afford to just fly around and help? Yeah, that's a good point.
She's gonna let Terry in when she comes back.
Because he earns a living.
She had to go get some water.
You know, like millions and millions of other
Don't
Americans.
y'all think it's crazy how every time Zav, me, or really anybody that is saying something that matters or makes sense, don't y'all notice all these people flood into on all these other people, all us, and be like, hey, I know I have a piece of evidence. The phone was found in North Korea. It's like, shut up.
It's like trolls.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How about the Mexico guy?
That's because you're.
Yeah, that's just I think a bunch of.
See, I love that observation right there. He's sitting here going, don't you notice that all these people with these cock theories come fucking flooding to us? Well, that's because you're coming up with half-cocked crazy theories. So they figure you're the ones to come to with that shit. That's why. I don't have people doing that. I have people with common sense in my chat who are just like, well, you know, there's professionals assigned to it to do the investigating. My chat's here to be entertained because what I offer you is entertainment, period. That's it. Like nothing more. Nothing more. I offer you entertainment. And if I choose to speculate, it's only based on verifiable facts. That's it. So, dude, like the lack of self-awareness there. Don't you guys notice that whenever somebody comes up with a crazy fucking theory, they come to us? Well, because you guys are coming up with crazy fucked up theories. That's why. So that's why they feel comfortable. They're not trolls. I mean, they are, but they're not deliberate. They're just people who are as stupid as you are. That's all they are. That's all it is. You attract that shit. I'm always saying, man, dude, a creator's chat is almost a reflection of that creator themselves. You're going to attract like-minded people. That's what's going to happen. That's just the results of what happens. You're going to attract like-minded people. You know, I mean, and you are going to attract trolls once in a while. But when you are being flooded with insane half-cocked theories, maybe it's because they're seeing that you come up with insane half-cocked theories.
A bunch of baloney.
Oh yeah, Mexico guy. We all refer to.
Had anybody even heard that one?
No.
He mentioned that in the interview too. He says that in the interview. Dav needs to pull that interview up.
Oh yeah.
I think they're just trying to point any direction that's not the truth.
Yep.
Facts. You know why? Because we're close.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he's so involved.
Hey, y'all want to know what's crazy? Listen, check this out, y'all. Dude, if this is a cover-up, I don't think everybody realizes. Look, think about this. Just theoretically speaking, what if this one's trying to be covered up so bad because they got comfortable with what they were doing, and this actually leads to other murders?
I mean, there has been other arrests, right?
No, there's been, yeah, true. And if you look up Highway 80 and look at a lot of the murders, a lot of them are insanely similar.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so what do you think it could be that Cabercooling guy, or no? Do you think he's not?
See, that's
involved?
what they want. See, you know how all these players keep saying, which is true, which we do have to quote unquote speculate, right? They want people to over speculate.
You don't.
They want every single person to speculate. And if you ain't speculating, and if you're one of the people who have speculated, and you're like, well, this is the one that makes the most sense. You're speculating something that is more than likely correct. That's when they're like, well, you need to speculate more. It's like, no, I'm okay. I'm just going to speculate this.
No,
if
they're telling you not to speculate.
No one's ever going to find out anything. If we actually put our brains together and look at what is actually factual and what has taken place in the line of time, they're going to have to be forced to tell the truth, or something bad's going to happen. Like, because if
You
this leads,
cannot handle the truth.
yeah, exactly.
That's exactly the vibe that I'm getting. Like,
I think they're trying to confuse us and throwing out random facts and that don't pertain to the case.
Oh yeah, like the laptop thing. Like the laptop thing don't make sense.
Thank
It
you,
really
Mike
don't. Like
Raj.
they would already grabbed it, and then they're like, "Well, the cops don't care."
Are
Well,
you
probably 'cause they know,
saying
they're like,
you see
we're not
yourself
going
in me?
but it's in there.
No,
they
but
have
do
it.
you see yourself in me?
Yeah, now they have it, but I
Law
don't.
enforcement
I mean,
has
But not. We know it was given to the grandpa.
But he clarified that early on. I think you had stepped away because I asked, who was the
Wait,
last
who
person?
said that though?
Steve, SF investigates.
Oh
He
yeah,
said
we
that-
can't, I can't trust anything he said.
How
He
does
just
he
said-
come into play? Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
I think he comes into play for diversion. I mean, he's like, I mean, I'm trying to help, and then you're like, well, are you an investigator? Oh, no. Well, are you working for the family? No. It's like, then why are you working for the family as a private investigator?
Right.
Yeah, he
like
could be
we're-
coming from somebody on the.
But he
I
agree.
don't know.
I agree with that, Church.
he wasn't working for the family as a private investigator. He was clear about that. He was just somebody volunteering because he has private investigator experience. Simple. Why is that so difficult to understand?
Yeah, why was his face blurred out?
And yeah, that's the other thing. You know, they can say that, oh, I didn't want my face on camera, but what you're seeing is what Upchurch is saying. They're trying to lead us in the wrong direction. Why? Why are they trying to lead us in the wrong direction? I just listened to that guy.
Because they're a bunch of rich weirdos, dude.
Exactly. When Upchurch called him out and was like, "Wait a minute, you're not an investigator," he paused. It's like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah,
It's
and
not-
then
no.
okay, Tony caught that. So did y'all catch when I was like,
No,
man,
he said you're not a cop. Not a cop. And you weren't hired by the family.
the criminals around there? I did it on purpose. I was like, man, the criminals around there, really stupid. The ones where I live are fucking great. And he's like, all right, guys, well, I'm getting off here.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go.
I said, dude, I'm not talking about you. You're not a cop. And then he's like, oh yeah, okay.
I happen to know for a fact that the reason why he got jumped off that panel was because he was like, why the fuck did I put myself in this position? This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But he and Dad and Grandpa were all having the same discussion.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't even think.
And
he
joking
said that.
around
Whoa.
about Upchurch got that too. Joking around with the grandpa and the dad about the
Oh,
crime.
he called it, yeah.
I want to tell you
What the
something,
hell?
look, and this sounds absolutely fucking insane. But whenever you're looking at a scenario that you're not sure of, this is gonna sound crazy. Picture it as a cartoon inside your head.
Exactly.
Play the cartoon through. So think about this. SF investigates. Kylie's dad and Kylie's grandpa are all chilling in a room, right? They're all cartoon characters, right? And they're like, man, the criminals around here are so fucking dumb, but they got away with the murder of your daughter. They should have been a little slicker. That didn't happen. And think about not
We're all having the same discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't even.
Gotta hear that
And joking
again.
around about Upchurch got that too. Joking around with the grandpa and the dad
I gotta hear that again because I can't believe my fucking ears.
about
Oh, he
crime.
called it, yeah.
I want to tell you
What the
something,
hell?
look, and this sounds absolutely fucking insane. But
Yeah.
whenever you're looking at a scenario that you're not sure of, this is gonna sound crazy. Picture it as a cartoon inside your head.
Exactly.
Play the cartoon through. So think about this. SF investigates. Kylie's dad and Kylie's grandpa are all chilling in a room, right? They're all cartoon characters, right? And they're like, man, the criminals around here.
There you have it, folks. Ryan Upchurch's method for sleuthing is to picture everything as a cartoon.
Around here are so fucking dumb, but they got away with the murder of your daughter. They should have been a little slicker. That didn't happen. But that's exactly what he said. But that didn't happen. Or did it happen?
Hey, real quick,
Huh,
Steph,
that's- wow.
can you bring Terry in? She's the one who has
Oh.
information on the phone.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sometimes I don't see people at the bottom. Hey, Terry.
Hey.
Does
Why is everybody
does
doing
sound
that?
like
That's
what he
fine,
would
but should I
pick.
post it? Go ahead, Terry. What? Sorry. Wait, where'd she go?
I think everybody's getting your thing because you posted it earlier.
I posted it a while. No, that's fine. I just wasn't sure how people kept. That's fine because I did post it a few times. But Terry, are you there?
I think she's trying to figure out
Hey,
how to
Zav,
work
I'll
camera.
see you later, sweetie. All the other ladies on here, see y'all. Tony, see y'all later. I'm gonna hop on my YouTube and get some stuff done. But
Okay.
Zav, holler at me later, girl.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
See y'all later. Take
All
care.
right, bye.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, that's enough of that. I'm just gonna look at some chat here. Glare, have you gone over Kylie's mom's statement to the media as Zev Girls Panel's response to it? Yes, I have. And I will say again, since you didn't catch it and you're probably just joining us. Since that happened, and Kylie's grandfather also left a comment in my chat from yesterday's live with Steve. I'm not going to discuss her case anymore. I'm just going to leave it to law enforcement at this point, just the same way that I'm leaving the Summer Wells case alone until there's more further information. Once there's further information released by the press and released by law enforcement, then I'll do my own opinions on that, and that'll be it. But as far as I'm concerned, the case is closed until law enforcement says otherwise. And I'm going to respect the family. Now, that's not to say that if Ryan continues to attack YouTubers and continues to attack innocent people that I'm not going to cover it. I'm definitely going to cover it. Because like Ryan, as he said in that ridiculous video that I played earlier, I'm also very stubborn. And and it's just too much fun. I mean, as you can see, he's just too stupid to not be as much fun as he is. And I'm just going to continue to cover it. No, the case is not closed. Okay. Like, I'm saying that there's nothing left to talk about. There's no information made available. There's nothing left to talk about. And if the family is outright asking people to stop with the speculation and they're saying, hey, we got it, then I'm going to leave it at that. You know, if I'm doing this for anybody, I'm doing this for them. You know, if I'm, you know, but, and I wouldn't have, honestly, if her grandfather had not left that comment in my comment section, I would have excluded myself from what her mom's statement said, because I would have looked at it like, hey, well, you know, I'm defending you. You know, I'm that's how I would have looked at it. I would have justified my actions very much the way Zav was trying to. But, you know, and a lot of times the family appreciates it. You know, the Rucheks appreciate it when I do it. So it just depends on how the family feels about it and how they feel that they're being affected by it. And if they're saying directly, hey, it's not helping us, you know, then I have to respect that. So, but Upchurch, he's not off my radar. He's fair game. And any other YouTuber who continues to do this crap, they're fair game too. So yeah. But as far as speculating on any facts that have been presented to us, such as the car and how it was found and the laptop and blah 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 and that sort of thing, I don't think that I have any more to contribute to that. I think that I've contributed as much as I can. I have my opinions. I'm set in those opinions until more information comes out that would change my opinions. But that's it for me as far as that goes. Oh, I'm sure she was. He's not saying that he represented the family. He said that he's been in contact with Kylie's father and grandfather. That's what he said. He never said he was representing them. He said that he was in contact with them. That's it. Let's see. The Glare, please tell me that you've seen the police report where JP attempted to file a report against SF and other threats, and police stated there were no. I'm not concerned with that kind of shit. I'm not concerned with that shit. That has nothing to do with anything. You know, no disrespect to you. You know, it's just understand. You know, if you're going to be, if you're going to enjoy my channel, it's best that you understand where I'm coming from. And I'm just not concerned with personal shit that's going on, personal feuds between Steve and who knows who the fuck else. It's not my business. I felt that he could bring some insight because he was there and he was searching and he has investigative experience, and we went over that. Done. Period. That means a lot. Amazing 80. You don't have to agree with me either, man. There's people who disagree with me all the time. Like, there's other YouTubers that I'm friends with that I disagree with almost all the time when it comes to these cases. you know, but we can have civil discussions. We're grown-ups here. We can talk. We can, you know, yeah, I know he went live. I know that Upchurch went live, and he had a just a panel of simps. Just everybody simping his ass. It's just really funny. And it was really funny because there was one or two of those guys that I actually found to be somewhat intelligent, except for the fact that they were just blindly agreeing with everything that he was saying. Because that's, you know, that's why people like that always have like some sort of, you know, entourage around them. It's just a bunch of simps that kiss their ass, that celebrity can treat like shit if they want to, because they're always going to agree with them. And then, you know, it's ridiculous. They're just always going to validate the bullshit that they do and say. And I have no respect for people like that. I just don't. Yeah, and it's really sad when you see smart people doing it. You know what I mean? You see people who can think coherently, and yet they're just so blinded by the idolization that they have for this one person who's, you know, what, wrote a few songs that you like, you know, covered a couple songs you like. That's it. It's so pathetic. It's just so fucking pathetic, especially if you're an intelligent person. Like, because that your intelligence just goes right out the fucking window, because you piss away your intelligence when you simp for somebody who clearly doesn't have any. Yeah, I didn't even click on Laura's shit. Laura's a fucking idiot. I love this. I love these comments. Am I a Democrat? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, what is your... I'd love to have you explain that question, Mountain Girl. What is what, how did the wheels start turning to get to that question? I'm curious, and I'll wait for you to answer in the comments. Tracy LH, thank you so much. Love your channel. Glad I found you, as you seem to be the voice of reason. Little vertigin. Now, I'm not a very smart person myself. That's a word that's out of my vocabulary. I don't know what that means, admittedly, and reluctantly, but little vertiginous after listening to the panel of Ryan and his crew. I'm going to assume in the context that you use that word in, I'm going to say that it means something like, let me guess here. Yeah, I guess dumbfounded, more or less, maybe, like your brain is just a little bit more damaged after having to hear that in some way, shape, or form. I don't open my panel anymore. I invite people on my panel. But yeah, I don't do that anymore. Yeah, one of these days, though, I'm going to figure out how to set up this thing to where I can take calls. I tried to set up like a Google number or whatever, and I figured like I could just share the screen for Google calls and take calls, but eventually I'll do I'll find a way to where I can take calls. I just don't know how to do this because I'm a boomer and I don't computer very well. So yeah, I have a a MacBook Pro that can do a lot more than I even have any idea what it can do. So oh man, I always stroke my facial hair. I've always done that. Even before I even had facial hair, it was just a thing I do. Sorry if it bothers you. I mean, yeah, and I'm definitely not going to open up my panel if it's going to like start a political conversation because I'm going to be honest with you. First of all, based on however the fuck you came to that to asking that question, I'm going to say you fall into the same category as I do in the sense that I'm not educated enough to debate someone on politics. So I'm not going to have one educated person arguing with another uneducated person about politics. Because I'm not one of those people that likes to talk about things that I know nothing about. So I have my views and I have my opinions and I vote based on those opinions, but I'm not educated enough to debate someone on politics. So, you know, yeah, I'm just not doing that. And based on you typing in all caps and your exclamation points and all that shit, I doubt you are either. So my advice to you is when it comes to political conversations, I'd probably shut the fuck up like me. Just saying. I like to stay in my lane. You know what I mean? Like I could never be on like Nick Rekieta's panel. Like those guys are all lawyers. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck am I going to contribute to that panel for? You know, usually I'm in that chat. Like I'll listen to his channel because it's very educational. I'm learning something, you know, different opinions. Great. You know, I like listening to Nick Rekieta's channel. But I would never assume that I am qualified in any way, shape, or form of engaging in a conversation of the subject matter that they engage in because I'm not a lawyer. I got a GED and then I did 1 semester of college. That's it. That's all I did. So I would never I would never put myself in that position. And I wouldn't subject them to my lack of education. You know, that would be extremely egotistical. And just a waste of everybody's time. So I wouldn't do that. And I don't care. I mean, we're not talking about Trump or Biden here. So, you know, if you support Trump, you're welcome in my chat. If you support Biden, you're welcome in my chat. If you support fucking Bernie Sanders, you're welcome in my chat. You know, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what your political views are. As long as you're not dropping racist fucking shitty comments in my chat, you're welcome here, you know? And as long as you're not Karening and whining, yelling to cancel people, you're welcome here, you know? PhD, a player hating degree. the Roch squad, man. You guys are always welcome in here. I love my Roch squad. My Roch squad is great. See, I love comments like this too. Steve Smith, this is boring. Wow, this is boring. So, out of the two of us, which one is stupid? Because I'm the one in here talking to 580 people who want to hear what I have to say. And you're in here listening and bored when all you got to do is change the channel. That's all you got to do. YouTube has something for everyone. I promise you. YouTube has something for everyone. And if you're too stupid to find something that works for you and entertains you thoroughly, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's a level of stupid that I can't even begin to relate to. I'm a little stupid. I know that. A little stupid, but I have enough sense to make sure that whatever I'm watching is entertaining me thoroughly. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of brain just sticks onto a channel that they find boring? Like, Steve Smitty, I wish you the best of luck, buddy, with that. Now, I bet you, Steve Smith, that there's probably a YouTube channel that teaches you how to put on your pants. That somebody of your level of intelligence might find that helpful. Just saying, one leg at a time. Okay. Make sure that the zipper is in front. Most pants, the zippers are in front. Okay. And then just put them one leg at a time. All right. Make sure they fit you. All right. But there's probably a YouTube channel that teaches you how to do that. Just so you know. Just so you know. Somebody with your level of intelligence. You know. Sweatpant rarer. I don't like pants either. That reminds me of an old Simpsons episode. Somebody was like running for some sort of office or whatever, and everybody was there, and everybody was like, yeah, as they were talking, and Homer Simpson's like, don't you hate pants? Yeah, man, pants are uncomfortable, dude. But, you know, unfortunately, you got to wear them or else you're going to get put on a registry. Yeah, they could be button fly. That's true. They could be button fly. That's like an Ivy League school for Steve Smith. That's way beyond that's way beyond his level. Guaranteed. Heels in the air. Welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's I mean, you're changing the game. Like button fly for Steve Smith. Fuck. Man. Yeah. That dude needs a seminar for that shit. I'll tell you that right now. See, God, that's so stupid. God, that's such a dumb statement, Donald Weston. And I don't know if you're stupid. I'm just saying, no one in Truckee cares anymore. Accident accepted. Mostly Democrats. No offense. None taken from whoever, somebody who would leave that comment. I am the only one still on this. No. You've got others. I promise. Freedom of speech does not equate to freedom of consequence. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Don't dish it out what you can't take. Exactly. That's why I let all of Ryan Simpson here. Because I promise you I can out troll you trolls. I promise you. I totally agree. I mean, that was I mean, it just speaks volumes for Ryan. That's another reason why I let them in here, is because they represent this asshole. And like, look at what they sound like. I mean, these are the people that he's got representing for him. It's good. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks guys for joining me. I really appreciate you. I love you guys very much. Thank you guys for all your support. Do me a favor and hit the like. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. We will do this again very soon, my friends.